Unmute that. All right. Hey, everyone. Kolz here. Unmute that. All right. Hey, everyone. Kolz here. Unmute that. All right. Hey, everyone. Kolz here. All right. Today I'm going to go through and see if I can get this to work. Hey, Invictus, let's see if I can make this one work. Can you hear me all right? Hey, everyone. I've never done a live stream before, so. All right, today I'm going to go through and see if I can get this to work. All right, hey, Invictus, let's see if I can make this one work. So, my plan is never done a live stream before, to go through and do boss brawl first with Warlord. And see if I can get this to work. Open up a whole ton of keys for, we'll see how long it takes. All right, and then let's see if I can try boss brawl again. See how the damage is. Never done a live stream. Saving up for the last time and do boss brawl first with Warlord. 9,000. See if I can get this to work. Open up a whole ton of keys. 27. We'll see how long it takes. All right, and then we'll see if I can try boss brawl again. See how the damage is. Never done a live stream. Saving up for the last time and do boss brawl first with Warlord. Ask questions about the game. Open up a whole ton of keys. 27. We'll see how long it takes. Do my best. And then we'll see if I can try boss brawl again. Never done a live and do boss brawl first with Warlord. Ask questions about the game. Open up a whole ton of keys. 27. We'll see how long it takes. Do my best. All right, let me know if that's better. I just turned off one of the sources. Hopefully this works now. And it's not looping. Sorry, I should have tested this beforehand, but my first go at it. All right, sweet. So let's give this a shot. So my plan is to do boss brawl live, and then hopefully I don't suck at it too bad. And then we'll open up all these keys and see how much damage increases from there. Yeah, let's see. It should be better now. I stopped, I think, one of the loops. If it's still going, like mid-boss brawl, yell at me and I'll pause it and try to figure it out. But I think I have it set up right now. All right, make sure I actually have my right equipment set up. So pets for boss brawl, I go Basilisk as a main with Dino and usually Pyro Crankin as my passives. Thanks, JBR. Appreciate it, man. All right, so hopefully I don't suck, because that would be sad. And I didn't get to do, I had the boss brawl bug yesterday, so I didn't get to do like both runs. So I'm only on one run right now, but Oracle was pretty good. I only have her at 3-star Forge, and I wasn't totally sure how you stand on the boss with her, but it went pretty well. I got 1.6 speed from being a creator, so I'm going to turn that off for boss brawl, but it makes the game a lot more fun if you can swing it. Especially things like Dragon's Tower and for like grinding Nightmare mode, the speed helped a lot. All right, War Axe. So boss brawl, you want status effect and to max your weapon as fast as you can. That's the goal here. So we're looking for, got poison already. Now we're looking for a War Axe evolution as fast as we can. Man, you get used to 1.6 speed, and then 1.0 is very, very slow. I need to get burning set up here. Take that. So we're looking for burning still. So I usually go, I don't have all the special weapons. So my burning focus is usually on Arcane Staff. Let's see. So there's one fun trick that you can use with Warlord if you want to get real ballsy, is you run Armor Tome. If you run Armor Tome in Boss Brawl, you can stand on the boss much more often after you've evolved your weapon and can really pump up your score. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm getting horrendous RNG right now. So maybe I should have. So instead of taking XP, you can take Armor Tome, and that will... see, I still need Burning. Let you stand on the boss much more. Okay. Well, this is pretty lame. So I think Chain Lightning will give me Burning, hopefully. This is about as bad of RNG as I could have asked for. So I have 100% crit, so I don't need crit. So I'm still looking for projectile speed. Not projectile speed. I'm looking for Duplicator Tome and +1. What else is +1? Duplicator Tome. I guess I don't need crit, so I can take Armor Tome and then just stand on the boss. Man, no burning? That's sad. I should have had Chain Lightning set up for burning, but I didn't. No, it is burning. All right, there we go. Just really low chance. Death Knight isn't particularly interesting. You're looking for his last Enrage, and then hitting the vulnerability phase at like exactly 20 seconds is usually what you're going for, something like that. Let's see. I got someone in the background. I don't know if it's my son or my wife. One of my sons. Hey, Ted.
Yes.
Both of my sons. You guys are on TV right now. Okay, you got to get out of here, Ryder. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you guys doing? We're getting our clothes.
Is he? Can you? You guys gotta get. You have to put a towel.
Hi, my name is Teddy. Hi, my name is Teddy, and I love Daddy. I want to be.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
So I got some surprise visitors in both of my sons and my wife.
Super Mario Odyssey.
Come on, Ted.
All right, Teddy.
It's me, Mario.
I'm gonna try and get them out of here.
It's me, Mario.
Come on, Bubba.
They do exist.
Are you gonna cancel that?
Hopefully. Too many Kolzes. Yeah, hopefully you didn't get the full view of my son there. Hopefully. All right, so let's finish up this now protracted run of Boss Brawl. All right. So if I had Armor Tome right now, right, I could like get more aggressive with where I'm standing and try and get all 4 of these guys to hit at the same time. But I don't right now. So it's been some weird RNG. All right, let's do armor, do area, and just try and hit him some more. Okay, so this went all right. They took off slow from being status affected on the boss, which is kind of sad because it reduces your damage by like a lot, and it takes away one of the status multipliers that used to be a lot of fun. So that's kind of sad. Oh, and I'm at the beach, so the background is not the standard. Is not my standard shelf heroes, because I'm on vacation at the beach for a week. So, hey everyone, thanks for joining. So the plan here is to do one run of Boss Brawl now, open up a whole bunch of keys, answer any questions you guys have, and then do another run of Boss Brawl afterwards and see the impact on the damage output. All right, and let's see. So this is like the one part where I have to not mess up. So he's going to have one more Enrage. You can take a little bit of damage beforehand so that you're kind of like ready to revive right on time. All right, here we go. All right, that was pretty much perfect. Like 20 seconds is perfect. So that'll do. And then just stand right on the boss. Like real straightforward. You want all 4 of the axes to be hitting the boss as often as you can, especially during revive. All right. Well, I didn't atrociously mess this one up, so I'll take it. I'm going to have to try and do the same kind of build on the second run. So it won't be like totally optimal ideally, but that'll do. All right, so how many people do we have here? Got a good, decent... Wow, I was hoping that one person would show up. So thank you, everybody. There's about like 20 guys in here right now. Really appreciate you showing up. Feel free to start asking me questions now, too. The game is lagging. That's too bad. I'm going to have a full recap of this afterwards as a video, so that'll be a little bit better. I forgot to, or I didn't buy like one of the screen captures so for my phone, so I'm like literally just streaming it like through Google Meet. So that's probably why it's like not ideal on the lag there. I'm sorry, guys, but that was the one bit of actual gameplay for a bit now. So that's really solid boss brawl run for me. I'll take that for Warlord. I'll try and pull up my boss brawl stats and we can plug it in and see like how it does relative to those. Let's see here. Boss brawl. All right, so this is my boss brawl log. So I've been keeping track of like all my boss brawl scores for a couple months now, just to get a sense of how I'm doing over time. So we are on Donkey Kong. Not Donkey Kong. We are on Death Knight. And then today is the 10th. 4, 6, 8, 7, 9, 4, 1, 5. All right. All right, so this is not my best run of all time, but it's right in there in line with other ones that I've done. So I'll take that for live streaming it. So I don't use Bloodbath in Boss Brawl because there aren't any horde to clear out first. So with Boss Brawl, you need to clear out like one horde that's bleeding in order to get Bloodbath to show up. And in Boss Brawl, you don't have that opportunity. So it's better to do Quad Strike. And then Quad Strike lets you stand on top of the boss and hit them with all 4 of your axes. So it's like 4 times damage. So, and the most important part of Boss Brawl is doing the revive. Like you're setting up your whole run basically for your revives on top of vulnerability. So whatever optimizes you for that one part of the run is the most important. That's why Wizard's Ring is so important also, the freeze multiplier. Okay. So over to chess. There we go. I was going to do, I'll probably record this afterwards. I'll go back and check and actually see what level of probabilities end up on the chess. But right now, my equipment is all mythic. So my basic rule for the last 6 months has been that I'm only opening chests and using keys if I need to for daily quests. And then I haven't opened any other keys I've needed else other than that. So I have, kind of mostly all mythic. I have a couple of... I've gone a little bit into like the Ascended repeats, but everything is still mythic. So I have not been opening chests for 6 months straight. And that's gotten me to the point now where I have almost 10,000 silver keys and 2,700 gold keys. My plan is to open up the gold keys first, I guess, because those will be a little bit more fun than opening up all the silver keys. So if you guys have any questions about the game or life, we'll see how long this takes because it's going to be a while. One guy tried opening, I think, like all 2,700 at once, and it broke the game. So I'm going to try and stagger them from like at least like maybe like a couple hundred at a time and then merge them and then go back and open some more. That's my plan. So let's see what we got. Every 10. So if we get like more than one epic per 10, that's good. And then, yeah, I think you're looking for 2 to 3 rares, 2 to 3 blues per open, and then 1 epic per open at least. So Scott, for getting assassin, it's going to depend on where you are now. Ideally, you want to be somewhere like around. It's going to take you about 1,500 to 2,000 gems to go from 400 deaths to 600 deaths. So you can kind of tell by how many like gold coins or how many tokens you have at like 400 depths. If getting that 2,000 at 600 plus probably like another like 1 or 2,000 from doing that that dig. So if you're around like 9,000 or so, 9,000 or so tokens, you're probably good to go for it for the hero. You can usually get the weapon for 2,000 gems, but getting the hero for 2,000 gems is much harder. Oh, that was a hell of a roll. Look at that one. 8, 9. 9 rares. 8 rares? Solid. 9 rares? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. 7 rares. I'm sorry it's lagging a bit. I'm streaming my phone through Google Meet instead of using like a screen recorder because I didn't realize I needed one until I was too late. So it's a little bit laggy on the game front. Hopefully my audio and my video is coming through okay. If it's not, let me know. I haven't hit any particularly lucky rares. What are they? Legendary? Epics? Epics, yeah. But I've done pretty solid so far on the blues. So opening 2,700 silver gold keys right now. And we're about 100 in so far. All right, cool. Yeah, if it starts getting buggy, let me know. I've already had one kind of semi-expected entrance from my kids. I imagine that they're going to be banging on the door eventually again. All right. Guaranteed in 3. So if it moves off of that third space, that means we got lucky. There we go. 2 in 1 roll. I'll take that. So any epic that like falls off of like that, I guess it's the 6th space now, is lucky. So I had a lot of fun yesterday. I have a video coming out tomorrow on it. I did the speed run through 280 nightmare mode through 300 nightmare mode. Ooh, look at that one, back to back. That's pretty. It was like 12 hours of grinding. The speed boost helps a lot for that. If you're trying to like rush through, wow, another back to back. If you're trying to rush through Dragon's Tower, if you're trying to rush through nightmare mode, speed boost for $10 is great. But that was a grind. So yesterday, so of the 20 new nightmare mode levels, 295 is the one I did the video on. That's the one that is the most like 202, which is the hardest in the sense that you have to kite through a bunch of flocks of seagulls, I call them, but like birds or bats that are streaking through the map. That's the hardest one. 287 is also hard, and it has the same kind of bats. They're smaller, but they blend into the screen. For whatever reason, the color of the bats is like the exact same background as catacombs, and you can't see them. So I don't know how I beat it first try, but it was a little bit of luck, a little bit just kiting kind of out of like habit. But 287 and 295 are the hardest ones of the new 20 they just released yesterday. Yeah, so we had a little run there with a couple of epics in a row. So we're 300 keys in. I'll probably do like 700 maybe now, and then merge them and see what happens. What am I forging now? So I am working on Scrap Hammer. I have Werebeast up to 4-star forge, and the focus being Dragon's Tower. I put a lot of focus on boss brawl, and so I was forging up Assassin, Sentry Specialist, and Big Game Hunter. But I've been incredibly disappointed with Assassin and Sentry Specialist on the forge paths. So I'm taking a break from focusing on boss brawl totally and starting to work on DT. So now with Dragon's Tower and having full heroic gear, I feel like I can start pushing levels on it and don't have to just keep redoing doing the lower difficulties for farming. I also really appreciate what they did with Dragon's Tower in terms of the chase heroes, the chase item, and making it shorter. So all they need now is to have a boss. If they have an actual dragon in Dragon's Tower, which you would think that they should, then I think it completes the whole game mode. So my focus right now is on Dragon's Tower, and that means getting Werebeast up to 4-star forge, and then Scrap Hammer all the way up. So A302. Glad you made it. Yeah, so let's see. I'm going to merge these just now to see what happens. That was 300 gold keys so far. This is fun. I don't know if you guys have ever merged a whole bunch of keys at once, but the game does the math for you and it goes real fast. So, ready? Whee! That's pretty. Oh, I guess that makes sense. They're all going to be epic and higher. Ooh, this is 300. It's only 300 gold keys, so we got a while to go. But we're starting to hit some more Ascended now, so that's nice. It took me basically 6 months to get Mythic, and then it takes 6 months to go from Mythic to Heroic, which makes sense because at that point you have all of the Ascended Noble gear that helps you get gold key chance much faster. And what else makes you go faster? Santa. Get Santa. If you're going to be doing this grind, get Santa, because that will save you like days and days of your life. JBR, so Oracle, if you have not beat hard mode yet, then yes, I would go Oracle 5-star. Oracle 5-star will clear you through all of hard mode, no problem. And then will be great for boss brawl. Oracle is one of the better main heroes to have. Actually, I need to update that ranking. So I have I think the best heroes that everyone always complains about. I think last month I moved Werebeast way up, maybe even to number 2 in front of Warlord. I'm not as big a Warlord fan as some other people, but Dark Mage is the one too. That's the new one of the new OPs. I think Dark Mage is super strong. And doing that video was fun. She's like whatever it is like a worm genie prince. So I was staring at him for a while. Yeah, 95 hard mode for sure. Go 5-star Oracle, and that'll be your main. And she'll carry you. She'll be able to beat all hard mode for you. The big thing with hard mode, obviously, is that it's 390 chapters, that normal mode. You just have to figure out a way to make it not boring. Whoa, 3 in a row. What are the odds of that? 5% times 5%, I think. So 1 in 20, 1 in 20, 1 in 400. That'll do. That's a nice little roll there. Yeah, it's figuring out how to make hard mode doable. So what I used to do was literally find a series of podcasts and then go on an hour walk and use all my energy and beat podcasts while I cleared out hard mode. That's how I grinded through it. Would be my daily exercise plus some hard mode chapters. Ooh, that was a nice roll right there. Yeah, and then the one that everyone always sleeps on and forgets is that Blade Master is fantastic for the end of hard mode. You do need to have all Ascended gear, but once you get all Ascended gear, a no Forge Blade Master can beat all of hard mode. So That's always the sleeper pick that people kind of sleep on or forget about because he's just one of like the free to play heroes. But you don't need to forge for Blade Master, and as long as you play him creatively, so if you run Ice Wand with Boomerang, you can clear out all of hard mode with Blade Master, which is nice because he's free. Yeah, if only it could open up a Necromancer. What I should do is try and somehow beat that awesome Necomancer skin and try and see if I can wiggle my way into a free Necromancer from a better skin idea. Although that one's going to be real hard to beat. I'm up to 10,000 gems. I'm fairly certain that if I get to 17,000 gems, I will just buy Necromancer from Lucky Draw and just say, screw it. It's been a year. Oh, man. All right, that was a solid roll. Anytime there's 3 in a screen, we've done something right. Trying to see if I can see behind them. I think we're at, yeah, okay. So I can see behind it. So we've done 500 gold chests so far, and we stopped first at like 300. So I'm just gonna start clicking for a while. Yeah, this game is like basically a test of your patience. The more willpower you have, the harder the game is. And so what I was doing was that while I was saving up these like ungodly number of keys was basically trying to do everything else much faster. So I rolled dust like on roll. I roll even like for events and stuff, I wouldn't save up. I would just like roll as fast as I could. And so like the way that I made myself not go crazy saving up 13,000 keys was to like roll everything else basically like on command to like feel like I was accomplishing something, because it's hard to like not roll when you have them. And honestly, earlier in the game you probably shouldn't save up. Like saving up from doing this hurt me in the sense that I could have gotten like a noble helm heroic much sooner, and then I'd probably have like Santa maybe at like 5 stars, which would have been nice for like the additional damage bonus. So it's not like strictly max min optimal to save up 13,000 chests, but it makes for a fun event to go from like straight mythic to straight heroic, at least in theory. Oh, that would be nice if they had a Necromancer mid-month. I don't know if I'm going to have enough gems by then, unfortunately. Although sometimes you get one of those wheels that gives you currency and you can snag a hero for like 8,000 gems. That would probably be... I'd be down for that, 100%. Nightmare mode. I love me some Nightmare mode. So pre-120, you can use basically any hero and overstock on movement speed. If you get movement speed up to like 13 in your stat screen, and then fill in the rest with regen jewels, 0 through 120 is doable with basically anybody. I did it with Tinkerer and Void Raven back in the day. So like, and that was pre-nerf. It was just like a movement speed game. Post 120, there are very clearly better heroes for the mode than other ones. So anyone with healing is good. So Warlord is the big one everyone knows about. Werebeast, I think is the best Nightmare mode hero. Talk about that a little bit in a video tomorrow. Werebeast's self-healing is just unmatched at 0 forges, and so you don't have to invest in him in order to clear out all Nightmare mode. Other good heroes, Clockwork Mage, Astral Mage, if you can get the shield to proc, is essentially more healing, because shield is healing. I think Stormborn, whatever the new Storm dude is, he's going to be strong. The Warrior faction's great because they have Knight for armor. So that little faction bonus of the additional armor makes Nightmare mode easier. So generally Warrior faction, Dark Paladin with 5-star Forge, fantastic Nightmare mode hero. You can clear all of Nightmare mode with 5-star Forge, Dark Paladin, Kezarthup. So that's the guy in the main Discord that everyone knows, who's the Dark Paladin main, whose name is pronounced Kezarthorpe, which he had to explain to me, is a big advocate for Dark Paladin. He's beat the whole game, basically, with a 5-star Dark Paladin. So you're looking for armor, tanky kind of guys that have freezes and slows. Those are ideal for Nightmare mode. Build-wise, pre-120, just run a lot of Night gear, maybe some Ranger boots and Ranger helm for move speed. Post-120, I'm a big advocate of the Were-Wizard build. Stormborn. Yeah, that's his name. Post-120, I run Were-Wizard. So that's my... I like to believe I created that concept. I don't know if I did or not. But it's 4 wizard with 2 knight. So knight helm, knight gloves, rest wizard. That gives you a ton of starting upgrades, which is super helpful for Nightmare mode. There's a set movement speed at 9, so you don't have to worry about move speed anymore. And then Bark Paladin is good. And then you just want to... Then you have to practice hacks kiting. So at 120 plus, you're roaring 4 wizard, 2 knight, or if you have enough armor. So if you have storm, if you have shield warden and knight, you can get away with running rogue gloves and rogue helm, and that'll give you additional damage, so you can actually clear out some horde, makes it a little bit easier. But generally, it's knight helm, knight gloves, 4 wizard, and then practice hacks kiting. Hacks kiting is when you run like V's up and down, left and right, or up and down to the left or right, and that will maintain like how the horde get onto the map. And that's like the one display of skill. So there's 2 places in Heroes versus Hordes where there's skill. The first one is boss brawl. So like figuring out how to nail your revive, that's like one display of skill. And the second display of skill right now is hacks kiting in the latter part of Nightmare mode. Everything else is just prepping and grinding, like having the perseverance to like keep on grinding. I guess the last display of skill is willpower. So if you can wait, you'll do better. I have never put together a CPU or a GPU, so I am woefully unable to answer your question there, Derp. Bark Paladin is actually really good. You should throw that in there, 302. And do people call you 302 or Czar? What's the appropriate shorthand? Are you a first part or a second half? Because in my head, you're always 302. All right. How have these rolls been going? I haven't even really been paying attention. I've been blabbering on about Nightmare mode. Uh, 5-star Oracle, choose. So I think the one that links them together additionally is probably better off the top of my head. I don't have it, but you can always test. So like the best way to test. Dog Josh does this all the time. Is oh hey Cimarron, cool. Nice to know your real name. Put a name to the name. So Dog Josh takes whatever the new hero is. He just did it today for Sporemancer. Goes into 390 hard mode, does the same build, and see which ones does the most damage. So you can do the same concept. If you're not sure which is the best for Oracle or for any hero, really, do the same run with the same set of gear and the same weapons, and then see which one does more damage in the stat screen. All right, I think I just did like 600 keys. So let's hopefully not break the game. This is pretty. I think it's still loading. Ooh. Also, being part of the new creator event, like the creator thing they set up. Ooh, there's our first mythic out of this set. So I've gotten like 4 perks so far. We got the Hero Pass for this month. I got Games Boost Pass for this month. I got the Adventure Pass, and they gave me like extra spins on the Avatar heroes, which were like unneeded. I'd say of those, the one that surprised me the most is the Adventure Pass. I don't think I'd recommend getting it. I still have to do an analysis on like the resources per dollar that you get. But you do get just like a crazy amount of resources from doing the Adventure Pass. I didn't realize like all the doubling you get up and down the adventure, plus the extra 20 odd levels past the hero, does add up to like a substantial amount of hero orbs and value. Also, you save 1,200 gems not having to use them to get the hero. So Adventure Pass I found to actually be, which is, I found Adventure Pass to be better than I thought it would be. And then Game Boost is probably the most fun. That game speed boost one is great. But what I really want them to do, and they haven't done this yet, is like give me early access to like a hero so I can do a write up. So the closest I had was Dark Mage. Jay Fei, I think who's on one of the head of the Russian guilds. He figures out how to get early access to all like the heroes, and so he's been giving me like screenshots of their stats, which is what I've been asking Lena to give me, and she hasn't given them to me yet. So like all these passing and stuff are nice, but the real perk would just be like being able to like do a video on time. So we'll see if they make that happen in the future. Merge Dragons. I have not heard of that one. So I personally love Rocket Pilot. Rocket Pilot is not like a top tier hero, but he's a lot of fun to play. His ultimate makes him invulnerable, which is fun. And it lets you in faction wars fly over the fences for the last part. So he's like a lot of fun to play. I don't know if it's like call him a good hero. His globals aren't particularly awesome, but the visuals are a lot of fun because he's a flying cat. He's like a lot like Rubble from League of Legends. I always go back to my League of Legends days, but he's a lot like Rumble from that game. And he's a lot of fun. Bombardier's got, and I never say his name, Bombardier. He's got fantastic globals, the projectile at 120. So like eventually you want to get him to 120 for the projectile. Ooh, that was a nice little roll. That's 4 on a screen. Cool. But my personal favorite for playing is Rocket Pilot. I don't have Bombardier. Yeah, those arrows, I swear to God, the hitboxes on those are stupid. And then particularly in Dragon's Tower, like I'm 100% sure I avoid an arrow and I still get hit by it. So whatever hitbox collision radius they have for arrows into heroes is odd, and it's a little bit off. So the way to calculate how many keys you need is to use a calculator. It was either Jay Fei or Mosin, one of the OG guys, Mario VX, I'm not exactly sure who, made a spreadsheet in Google Sheets that calculates the odds for finding, like based on the odds, how many keys you'll need to hit the next gear level. Let me find it real quick. I gotta keep pushing this button. Copy. So this is my copy of the spreadsheet. Let me just make sure you guys can see it. Okay. Let's see, maybe like this. This is my copy of the spreadsheet. I had to do a little bit of modifications for it because I've just been hoarding all these keys, and so it doesn't like tell you if you just have like a bunch of keys saved up. I had to do a little bit of extra math, but you put in the total number of heroic, mythic, whatever kind of gear that you have, and it gives you the expected number of runs. I guess this is to hit full heroic gear. I don't know if it tells you exactly how many you need to go from like ascended to mythic exactly. You probably have to do a little bit of math to get there. Yeah, from level to level it might not be there. Let me find the original spreadsheet and I'll share it in chat. The other thing here too is you can see like I was like trying not to go crazy, so I was tracking all my runs. Let's keep pushing this button. So I started tracking sometime in March. I don't know exactly when. These ones are a little bit like not totally accurate, but starting from in March, I've been tracking how many runs left I've had to do in order to get up to heroic. So from March, it was something like 4,000, somewhere between 4,000 and 4,500 runs I had to do over the last 4 months. I've been basically like using up all my energy every day as much as I can between doing hard mode. So I was doing hard mode 1 until they switched in that patch to make hero orbs much more valuable with 3.4. And then I've been doing as many hard mode 140s as I can while still completing all of your faction wars and any other arena. So those are the ones that like steal energy away from key grinding, are faction wars and arena. And then I was seeing here, so like you can kind of see this is like this column ended up just being me going nuts to try and stay sane. I can make sure you're seeing it. Okay, so column F is the number of gold keys I was getting per day. So I was getting, with Santa, I was getting something like 13 to, I think at the peak I was getting 32 a day. So those 32 and 34 were from doing the run to get the adventure hero this month. So when I got that adventure hero pass, you just get even more gold keys because you're just doing a lot more levels. And so those all have gold key chance and you can do them all in farm mode. And that really, like, I guess that helped me get over the finish line a little bit faster. Derp, there's a guy that the knees over toes guy. You could look into him. He's good for your knees. I imagine the same concept applies to shoulders, but that's not medical advice. My wife's a doctor. She could probably answer you a little bit better. I'm sure Joe Rogan's probably also got an answer for you if you need it, but I don't know exactly how to increase your flexibility in your shoulders. I don't know. Let me make sure this is just sharing again. Well, I'm bald, guys. There we go. Sorry for this janky setup. What did I do last time? There we go. No. I'm losing my connection to my phone, it looks like. There we go. Yeah, I should never bend down. You know, no one wants to see that. What's the number back there? 1,200. So we're at 1,500 keys in. And it's been like 40 minutes of clicking buttons. Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to click faster. I guess there was the boss brawl run at the beginning and some fun with technical difficulties, but so I'm recording this as I mentioned earlier, I'm recording this at the beach in New Jersey. So we come down to Long Beach Island. I grew up in New Jersey, and used to go to the beach every summer. My wife grew up here too, although we met in college in California, so that was kind of random. But her parents have a house down at LBI, and so we're at the beach for 2 weeks every year, which is nice. So when I get really fat, and then I have to like go home and work out for like 3 months to like lose all the weight. So apologize now if my cheeks are chubbier. I'm getting in a groove of clicking these buttons. I went to Delaware 6-7 months ago. One of my wife's cousins had a bar mitzvah there. Nice. What part of Jersey? I grew up in Mendham. My in-laws live in Princeton now. I'm going to keep making guides. I have a Dragon Tower guide I filmed yesterday, so that'll be out in a couple weeks. I'm going to try and start streaming or doing like actual boss brawl runs. So Wave, God rest his soul, left the game about a month ago, was the best at boss brawl. He was phenomenal. And so just watching his runs helped me so much in figuring out timings. So a lot of people in the guild have like learned a lot from Wave on like Wave timings for boss brawl. So I'm going to try and have that set up so that like at least every boss you can see like when to revive. Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to live near Morristown, so I've been in North Jersey my whole life. North Jersey's way better than South Jersey. Yeah, I grew up in Mendham right near Morristown, and North Jersey's way better than South Jersey. So I'm glad you're repping the good part of the state. South Jersey is basically just Alabama. No offense if you're from Alabama, but it's a different state. Thanks, Ethan. I'll try and keep my waistline off of the video. You can sometimes when I always do your adventures, like my shirt rides up, and I got to edit that out so you guys don't have to see my belly button. All for you guys. Yeah, Riverwind has been really going at that Shelf Hero, so I finally did him some justice in one of the videos coming out soon. Taylor ham, 100% Taylor ham. Taylor ham, egg and cheese on a roll, salt, pepper, ketchup. Number 6, it's the only way to live. For all of you that don't live in New Jersey and don't know what Taylor ham is, it's basically like if you took a hot dog and flattened it into a circle patty and then made a breakfast sandwich out of it with, so like instead of doing bacon, egg, and cheese, Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. It's the best. It's like what you grew up on in New Jersey is awesome. That and pizza and bagels. So pizza is way better in New Jersey than it is in the rest of the country. Bagels are way better. And then down the shore, you can get really good corn and tomatoes and stuff. New Jersey gets a bad rap. People fly into Newark, and the area around Newark is awful and smells bad. But when you get like into the rest of the state, it's phenomenal. So it's a great place to grow up. But Newark is pretty gross. Yep. Ketchup, salt, and pepper is the only way to do it. I mean, you can put extra ketchup on it. It would still taste good. Mustafa, Adventure Hero. So Living Forge is fun. I don't know how good he is so far. Yeah, listen to smells the worst. Living Forge is a lot of fun, but I don't think he's very good. The mechanic of having to like hit the forge over and over again limits the damage output. So you're limited in 2 ways. One, you have to hit the forge. So like if the boss isn't standing near it, it just doesn't do any damage to the boss. And it's time, right? So the big issue with these new heroes that have like delays, it's why Slime Sage is so bad. You don't have time to like hit it multiple times. So It's a lot of fun, and like I think you get them forged up to like 3 or 4 stars. Most of these new heroes, you can like clear out all of hard mode with them if you put the 5-star forge in. But probably isn't going to be great, but is a lot of fun. All right, thanks a lot, Sar. 302. You're going to call you 302 because that's how I think of you in my brain. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Appreciate it. Do your Dragon's Towers. Going from 30 to 20 was really great. That was really, really nice because 30 was a slog. The big issue is I don't have a dragon. Like, the only dragon in Dragon's Tower is those little elite drakes. Like, what? Like, the name of the thing is Dragon's Tower. You should have a boss dragon. Like, I mean, come on, Freewood. But the changes they made to Dragon Tower since release have been phenomenal. So the chase hero, the chase weapon are great, and going from 30 to 20 saves a whole lot of time. The way you save additional time is the game speed boost. That honestly is like the best use of that $10 is for that mode, because it gets all the boring parts of it over with faster. I mean, New York pizza is fine, but it's better in New Jersey. If you go across the Hudson, you'll get better pizza and better bagels. New mushroom guy. So globals are phenomenal. No, opposite. Globals are awful. I think might honestly be the worst globals in the game. They're like only magic damage and then plus 50 health from a 3-star forge. So you're not missing anything if you don't have the globals there. On the but the hero itself actually looks pretty strong. So Dog Josh just did his inaugural 390 run like right before I got on this live stream, and came out with like decent numbers. I actually thought they'd be better, but decent. So it doesn't look like it's as strong as Dark Mage, but is significantly better than Slime Sage. So on that scale, not bad. Let me make sure. Is this recording still? Is it recording? Yeah, Slime Sage is all kinds of like not good, unfortunately. And it's just because it's a timing issue, right? Every one of his kit has like a delay in it, and in Heroes vs. Hordes you don't really have time for delays, especially the ultimate. Having that King Fastidious guy just like jump up and down means that like you're just not doing damage while it's jumping. So I am streaming this phone and recording it and now trying to merge. So I might have to stop one of those things to get this to merge. I think I'm doing about 1,000 keys right now. So this is the biggest merge yet. As long as it keeps spinning. All right, we're good. Yeah, I don't know why. I guess because Taylor Ham probably like will kill you in the long run. Is probably why they don't have it in more parts of the country. Because it's way better than like Canadian bacon or whatever. So, all right, I can't scroll. So anytime I try and scroll in these merges, usually when it merges, it just like keeps going down, and you can like continue to scroll past. Like it's obviously not stopping there, but for whatever reason, anytime I touch the screen at all, it's hitting OK, and so I can't scroll down. Oh man, here come the mythics. Wow. All right. We're in range. We could probably, I mean, soon should be hitting a heroic. Right, I think I've seen a couple of these pop up on dupes. So, they're my boots. All right, nothing yet. $425 to go. Minotaur. I have not seen Minotaur play yet. I don't know if anyone had enough resources to get him. Unfortunately for me, I had spent I had like 15,000 tokens saved up. Maybe not that many, but at least like 7 or 8. And the day before they released the hero and the weapon, I used them to upgrade Bunny. So my plan was to make Bunny a 5-star, my first 5-star hero. But I'll put that on hold now that the new heroes are out. So I had just spent like all of my tokens on Bunny. The other one is those skill books are actually a really good deal too. Before they had these chase heroes, getting those skill books are super important. As you star up heroes, the way they get much stronger, particularly new ones, is through their star levels and their skills. So being able to star up heroes is super, super important. And that was a nice source of them before they introduced the chase heroes, which I very clearly think are worth chasing, and will be my focus for the next couple months on DT. Reaper and Tide Warden, both of those I don't own either of them. Reaper shows up in Arena like every other week, so like you can get Reaper up to 5-star Forge for free eventually, which is nice. Tide Warden's kit reads really well, but everything I've read from people in chat over the last year has been that Tide Warden is not very good. So I would get their globals. I don't remember how good their globals is off the top of my head, but then maybe just stop there. I don't think there's a real rush for those guys. The way you eventually get all of your heroes up is going to be Nightmare Mode. People don't realize the resources that are awarded in Nightmare Mode are just runes and hero orbs, but a mega ton of them. So if you if you do your whole Nightmare Mode grind, you get your whole roster up to like 120, 125. I know you're not quite there yet at only 95, but like long term, the way you'll get a giant influx in hero orbs and resources is from doing Nightmare Mode. So until then, you really just need like 1 or 2 mains. So like and for me, it was Monk and Blade Master and Barbarian were my like 3 that got me through hard mode. But it seems like you have Oracle, and then just Blade Master is always a fallback. Once you get your first mythics, they should start rolling in. Because you have Ascended Noble Gear, that's the big boost there. Getting all the additional gold key chance from Ascended Gear is like phenomenal in the boots and in the chest. So going from like full Ascended to full Mythic feels pretty fast. That feels actually really, really, really nice. And then yeah, from Mythic to Heroic is like 6 months. Minotaur or Bulwark first? That's a good question. It depends on your hero needs. Bulwark seems like a really, really strong weapon for Nightmare Mode and for Dragon Tower. Like it was made for those modes. Anything with a shield is awesome. And so it comes with a shield built in, I believe. So that seems really strong for both of those 2 game modes. Generally, heroes are better than weapons. So like in this mine event, for example, 100% grab a hero if you don't have them over a weapon. I think you even take Void Raven over Phantom's Fang, personally. Because like you never know we're gonna be able to get a hero again. Like me, right? Like, I missed Necromancer when he was an adventure hero. It's been a year later, and I still haven't been close to getting him back. So if you can get a hero, you generally want to get a hero. But for these 2, I honestly don't know. Minotaur seems like a stronger version of like in the same type of like Stormborn and Shield Warden and those kind of guys. So I think he's going to be a good hero, but I have not seen or heard anything. Like no one's has him yet, so it's hard to know. Oh man, the end of the gold keys. Well, that was an adventure. Oh man, I haven't seen that 300 in a long time. All right, let's see if we get to any heroic from these. Hey Wubba, thanks for checking in, dude. Good to have you here. Yeah, Reaper's in Arena all the time. It's like Reaper, and there's the other one, Warlock. Those 2 guys I don't own, but I have like enough to get them to 5-star Forge already. They're always in Arena. Let's see, keys and coins. So for farming, you want to run as much noble gear as you can get away with at the highest level of hard mode that you can do, the highest chapter in hard mode that you can do. So I'm not sure exactly where you are, Dominic, at this point. But ideally you want to run, so the common farming chapters are like 25, 40, and then library I think is 40 or 70. I have to check. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. And then 144 is the most famous one. Hard mode 140, eventually, when you get like full ascended, becomes your go-to farm place, because there's just like so many horde there that you get like way more levels and coins as a result. I have a whole guide on farming that has like an image of all the best farming chapters. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but it's like 20. It's like 50, it's hard mode 1 is fine, 40, 70, 135 is fine, 140. As you get higher, 230 is really good for the next step up in dust and hero orbs, and then 271 is the last one. You're looking for like those stepwise changes in dust and orbs, and then doing like the highest one you can do there is generally a good rule. The nice thing about library is that there's a specific spot you can go to that lets you easily clear out in coin rush. So when you're early in the game, it'll let you clear out coin rush much simpler because horde can only attack from the north and the south. Gives you a good place to stop. Yeah, 120 Viking ship sounds good. 88.5. Yeah, these are all the good ones for farming. But it depends on where you are in the game, Dominic. So just let me know what chapters, hard mode, normal mode you're on. I can give you a better rec. Should I spend my super tokens on Warlord or Clockwork Mage? So it depends again, Corey. It depends on where you are in the game. Warlord needs essentially 30 other heroes at level 120. That's how I would think about it. Like if you have 20 to 30 other heroes at 120, you have enough globals to make Warlord work, and then you can go for his 5-star forge. Up until that point, Clockwork Mage doesn't need a forge. That's why I love Clockwork Mage so much. Her and Werebeast are two heroes that you can clear hard mode with no forge. So honestly, for Clockwork Mage, I would wait until she comes up in arena and then just grab her tokens through there. That's what I did. I think I may have spent a couple in Hero Clash, but you don't really need to forge up Clockwork Mage with supers. Now that said, the game is easier if you do. So I stopped using Clockwork Mage at level 10 in hard mode arena. So from the beginning of the game until level 10 in hard mode arena, she's your best hero. Level 10 hard mode arena, Warlord becomes your best hero. That's kind of the tipping point, at least in my experience. So, but that's like, right, hard mode arena was 9 months into a 12-month journey, 10 months into a 12-month journey. So like the first 80-90% of the game, Clockwork Mage is your best hero. And yeah, so the forge isn't necessary. So you can spend it elsewhere until you need Warlord, and you're going to start needing Warlord again, like somewhere in the middle of hard mode arena. So I don't have Cow Whistle. Yeah. So that's what the reports I've heard too, is that Expose is like limited to a certain area. You need the Expose would be nice for Boss Brawl if you don't have it. Otherwise, it's just one of those like test and see kind of guys. So like go into pick your favorite chapter where you're doing some farming at, and then do the same build, but switch out left and right there and see if it makes a difference on your leaderboard for stats. I honestly don't know. And it could be game mode dependent. Yeah, most people don't do nightmare mode. So you're at 16. It's actually like, I think higher than 99% of players actually get. People are scared of it. You load into it and it's just like a way different experience. So 16 is fine. I really, really liked it. Like, so when I was doing it last year, there wasn't any guide for it. No one really wrote about it. And so I was just like winging it, trying to figure out how to make Crazy Tinkerer. I was like, I like Crazy Tinkerer as a hero. He's one of my like more favorite kind of stupid, goofy heroes. I was like, I'm going to figure out how to make him work. And so that was my goal with Nightmare Mode. But the big thing with there is just you get so many resources. You get so many rune stones and you get so many hero orbs that it'll help power up your whole roster. And yeah, so I'm a big advocate for doing Nightmare Mode as long as you enjoy it. If you don't like it too, like, don't do it. But it does help make your whole roster stronger. Yeah, I think Craig is right. I mean, supers on Warlord will never be wasted. There's also that. Like you need the supers on him to make him strong. So don't worry at all. Like if you use them on him, they're definitely not going to go to waste. Whereas Clockwork Mage, they may go to waste. There might be like better uses of them in theory. So, but Warlord's always a good spend. It's just crazy. So I have a video on the Warlord coming out a couple weeks. It's nuts. So like 1 and 2 stars, he's not very good. I mean, he's actually awful. 3-star Forge, he starts being like noticeably better. 4-star Forge, he's nuts. Like it's just like boop boop. It's crazy. And then 5 stars is just even more. So he goes from it's like basically like whoop, like that. But you need the forges, and then you also need like a big roster of heroes to make him stronger. Yeah, so Dominic, like I'm saying, like you're gonna need. He's great late game, and when people say late game, again, it's like hard mode arena is when he starts being the best. I think there are better heroes in Nightmare. I think Werebeast is better for Nightmare mode. I think Clockwork Mage is perfectly fine in Nightmare mode. Haxenin beat the whole game with Clockwork Mage. So like, if you can practice and get real good with her, and beat everything. But yeah, Warlords, you need 4-star Forge. And 4 stars. That's the other big thing. Like 4-star levels, you need that too. That's the only way he starts doing enough damage to like clear out Horde. So it's a big investment, and that's why it's late game. And it's why I moved him further down. I think I moved Werebeast up over him. It's just because like Werebeast just doesn't need all that investment. There's a question here. Yeah, getting your guild members to play Nightmare mode can be hard. I had the same issue with my first guild. That's why I left, because like it was like me and like 2 other guys. Me and Slayer X. Slayer X was like my first guild leader, then a guild that was like semi-active. He was awesome. He was a Dark Paladin main that like beat the game. Really good guy. And Bones. Bones is the other guy I miss. Bones was a lot of fun. He was a really funny guy. But like that was the problem. Of the 20 people in the guild, only those 2 and me ever talked, and so like it wasn't as much fun. Jerp, you've got. I can chat GPT this for you if you'd like me to, but that's the best as I can do. I'd say wear sunscreen. I don't know. Astral Mage, you can beat the game. Ex Ghetto, God rest his soul. He quit 2 weeks ago too. Man, people did not like that Avatar event. That Avatar event caused like so many quality players to just be like, God damn it, this game is a pain in the ass, which is sad. Ex Ghetto was one of those casualties. But he had a 5-star level Astral Mage, 5-star Forge, and beat the game with him. I think he may have. I know he beat all of Nightmare mode. I don't know if he cleared all of. I think he cleared all of hard mode arena too. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure he did. So yeah, Astral Mage, totally beefed up. Great hero. I probably 4-star levels, 5-star Forge. You can clear. You can definitely clear hard mode. Definitely clear Nightmare mode. Yeah, but Astral Mage is a good hero. I am a little prejudiced because Astral Mage came out in that wave of 12 heroes with no forges, 13 heroes with no forges. And so she was an adventure hero 1 month and her globals were really bad. So when she came out, she was just like a nothing kind of like Rune Master type character. But over time she's evolved. She's actually a really strong hero. So I have a bias I'm aware of against her, but she's very strong. Let's see. I think I saw a question here. Best heroes for Nightmare mode. So I think I have a list out to give you a general sense of them. Pre 120, where I talked about this a little bit earlier, you just need more movement speed. And any hero with plus armor in their base stats is good, because like the goal there is you just put in movement speed to 13 in your stat screen, and then as much armor as you can grab, and you'll just kind of outrun Horde. Post 120, some of the sleeper ones that are really good. So Knight with a 4-star Forge can be quite good. His rune sword will push back Horde, giving you more time to live, a little more space. He's also part of the hero faction. The Warriors Guild faction camp. Anyone in the Warriors Guild is strong because they get Knight's armor bonus. So you get that default bonus. So that makes Paladin very good. People have cleared Nightmare Mode with Lionheart, they've told me. So anyone in that Heroes Guild faction camp is good. By that token, I cleared out a lot of Nightmare Mode with Void Raven. Void Raven was the first grind event when I was playing last year. And so I was like super excited. I spent like all week with Bones and Slayer X grinding for Void Raven. So I used Void Raven to clear out 30, 40 chapters in Nightmare Mode, early Nightmare Mode, because she has plus movement speed and plus armor. So you can make anybody work as long as you practice hex kiting. Hex kiting is the key to like getting yourself through hard modes in Nightmare Mode. So if you practice that, you can beat it with any hero that you want. I'm doing it right now with Crazy Tinkerer for fun, kind of thing. So I did not feel an earthquake, but I'm at the beach, so it'd probably be a tsunami over here. What chapter is that, Maddie, in Nightmare Mode? How do I run Dominic? How do I run her with Rogue Set or Magic Set? Astral Mate. So most heroes is the same setup. It's Rogue, Helm, Chest, Gloves, Necklace with Wizard Ring and Ranger Boots. That'll get you the most damage for 99% of the heroes, 99% of the time. There are some like unique ones that like aren't worth going into here, but that's for progressing. It's just Rogue with, I guess you don't need Wizard Ring and Ascended is better than Rogue Ring. Before that, go Rogue Ring, and then Wizard Ring and Ascended for the freeze damage bonus. That's really, really strong, especially if you run like Ice Wand. And then, so that's how I do for progression. For different game modes, like you can start running more Wizard. Yeah, with Astral Mage, you're going to run mostly damage. Maybe in some parts of like Dragon's Tower, you run some Night Gear to like beef up the shield that she's going to have, right? So if, like the way health and armor work together well, right, is that the more armor you have, the more valuable each point in health is, and the more health you have, each point in armor gets more valuable. So you want to try and balance them. So someone like Astral Mage who gets shielding gets more value from armor than a typical hero does. But that would be only for like Dragon's Tower or maybe like Hard Mode Arena. I've beaten Nightmare Mode 202 with Rune Master and Spirit Shaman. I have not tried Slime Sage yet. I can give it a shot. The key to 202, like beating these hard levels in any part of Nightmare Mode with like really bad heroes, is having a stronger pet. So having a really strong Dino makes up for having a really shitty hero, or a strong Basilisk. Dino is the big one. So Crystal Saurus is the big one. That's the cheat code for Nightmare Mode. You can get him up to 400 plus. Nightmare Mode gets a lot easier because he'll end up clearing as many horde as Warlord would. Oh my god, a Spore Mancer on your first spin? That's awesome. Talking about it earlier, Spore Mancer's globals are maybe the worst in the game, so don't get him. Don't feel like a rush to level him up. But his kit looks really strong. So Dog Josh got him already and did his test run in 390 hard mode, and the damage isn't as high as I thought it would be. It's not at like Dark Mage levels, but it looks pretty strong. So I think Spore Mancer is great. If like he's like, that's a really, really lucky roll. So congrats on that. And is like, if that's one of your earlier heroes, like if you're just starting out, great early hero to get and to start putting value in. Basically, most any new hero should outclass Knight and Arcane Mage, and like all the free to play heroes. That said, Knight's fantastic. So like, I'm a big believer in Knight and Blade Master. Knight, particularly with 4-star Forge, just can beat most of the game. So. Okay, 107. It's just going to be, so 107, you're just going to have to keep kiting. That's it, and keep moving. So like, and it's like not great. It sounds kind of silly, but like hacks like would just beat into me that you have to like take your finger off the screen and like work on your kiting. So my kind of like generic advice is like practice kiting and you'll be able to beat 107. You'll just take less hits and you'll be able to survive. Other than that, it's just like try and use, I don't know what heroes you have, but like all the ones that heal up are better obviously than the ones that don't. And then yeah, stronger pets. So like it's mostly generic advice. You can run more move speed, like just like way over index on move speed. See if that helps. I saw there's a great episode of Black Mirror. I don't know if you guys saw it. So would I rather have lag in real life or ads every time I speak? I would take ads probably. Lag is hard to deal with in anything. But there's that episode of Black Mirror where I won't do too many spoilers here, but like she dies and they can put they bring her back to life with like a synthetic brain that you have to pay a subscription for. And I'm at the point in my life, and this is really sad, where the subscription is like a couple $100 a month. But during the beginning of the show, they were building up the fact that they want to have kids, and like they're trying to figure out should they have kids, but having a kid is way more than $200 a month, at least in the US. I have a spreadsheet I've spent over the course of the last 10 years for both my kids that were running around earlier. We spent, I think $150,000 to $200,000 in daycare. So like just daycare. So, which is $1,000 a month. So the fact that in that episode, they couldn't afford $200 a month to keep her alive means that they both had jobs, means that they shouldn't have been having kids. That was my, in all of that show, I was yelling at the TV. I was like, you guys shouldn't be having kids if you can't afford $200 a month to keep yourself alive. So that's a little bit US bias though, but daycare here is crazy expensive. Childcare in general. It makes sense though when like both parents work, but it's nuts. Yeah, man, your setup's right. So the one thing with Clockwork Mage is that she is super kiting dependent because she has no heal. With her, because she has a slow, you can do less movement speed and do more regen. So you might want to take out some of your movement speed drills if you're using them and go heavier into regen because that's essentially how she heals. It's just a matter of like taking as minimal damage as you can and then healing it back up. So she doesn't need as much movement speed because of her slow. Like you can think of a slow as basically an amp to your speed. So the trade-off there might be to like do more regen and less move speed. Okay, how far into these am I? All right, I've done 1,000. Whoops, I just did 1,000 silver keys, kind of, I don't know, without thinking about it. So let's merge these and hopefully not break the game. Yeah, daycare is nuts. And my son is starting kindergarten too next year. So we just in like a week. So we just made it out of we made it through the wilderness. So 10 years of daycare, of which like 2 years were overlapping. So we had to like do double daycare. That was a bad time. But you can like basically buy like a boat or like a second, like a third, like a car, whatever. It's just daycare payments are so nuts. Yeah, I have a spreadsheet of like all my, because I'm a data nerd, obviously. I have a spreadsheet of all my expenses since I graduated college. So that's 09. So 16 years of expenses. And it's fun to like, you can see it's like, all right, like I'm single and then I started dating my wife and then I had to buy her an engagement ring and then we had a kid and then we had a second kid and it's like, whoop. It's pretty funny. I don't know if I have a video on life lessons coming out soon, and maybe I may actually have that graph in that video. Pretty sure I do. All right, so still not at any. Hour and a half in. Where are we looking at? All right, so I got doubles of everything, so we're close. That's pretty. That's a lot of yellow. Okay, so we're make progress. There's progress towards heroic after 2,700 gold keys and about 1,300 silver keys so far. Oh, you don't use any movement speed gems? You could try putting a couple in. So just play with that. I would say play with your jewels. That'll give you the best shot. If I was a dev, so I have been really big historically into PvP games. So I played, I guess, World of Warcraft was the big one for a long time, and that was more competitive against other guilds doing raiding. And then I played League of Legends basically from the time it was released. One of my buddies like got the beta, and so I've been playing League of Legends for like 15 years. I was never ever, unfortunately, like I was really good at the macro and never good at pushing the buttons part of it. So I never got past like I think low platinum was as high as I got. But then TFT came out, and I knew all of the IP from League of Legends, and so I've been Grandmaster like 4 or 5 times in TFT. And so those games that last like 15 to 20 years usually have like a PvP aspect to them, or like some kind of like general mass, like teamwork aspect to it. So, like in my biased opinion, I feel like they should try and incorporate some more PvP because that one makes for better like content because then it's like something that's like people want to watch, like a game people want to watch in the sense that like who's going to win or lose. And then it just has like infinite replayability. So if you make really good PvP, right, people play League of Legends now 15, 20 years later. So if you sorry, I just read play with your jewels. If they could figure out a PvP mode that works, so I think Boss Brawl is fantastic. I mean, like that's a very good first step. But a PvP generalized version would be awesome. The problem with that is you can't do play to win with PvP. It's real hard. As you can see in Boss Brawl, right? Like the only reason like why Wisdom is one of the reasons why Wisdom is better than everybody is because he spent many more thousands of dollars than most people have. So like that's hard to deal with. So long answer there is like PvP would be awesome. I feel like that would be really cool. I don't exactly know how you implement it. And then I think the changes they have lined up next are like the highest priority, probably Guild and Portal reworks should be fun. Those should be great. So hopefully they do a good job. I am obviously biased, but I think they've done a really good job introducing and refining game modes over the last 6 months. They did a really good job fixing up Dungeon, really good job fixing incentives in Boss Brawl. They listened to feedback on Dragon Tower. I mean, the game at its core, right, is like a grindy survivor game. So like that's why I understand that they don't go towards more PvP. It's because like the core functionality is like one hero fighting an infinite number of horde. So teaming up together to fight horde, with like in the guild, right? That could be a thing that like makes it long term more interesting. And then the whole guild has to work together towards beating that. Could be cool. Thanks, Dominic. Thanks for coming, man. I honestly thought nobody would show up. So the fact that there's more than one of you guys here, it really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. So hopefully you're enjoying my whatever the hell I'm blabbing on about. But I appreciate you guys all being here. So this is really cool. Let's see. Yeah, I did say play with your jewels, but I meant it in context of Heroes for Swords. So quote me in context whenever I try and run for governor or something. Ride this, guys. That's a good base set of heroes right there. So Assassin, Oracle, those are all really good for clearing out most of the game. I mean, all of hard mode. And that's fun too because it's nice to have like 4 or 5 different heroes to do in hard mode. You get to like rotate through them and makes it less boring. So like when you get bored of like clearing a couple chapters with one hero, skip over to the other. The interesting one too, Leprechaun. So like I don't know anyone that's invested up to 5-star Forge. I'm sure some of the bigger whales have. His 5-star Forge reads really, really interesting. His ends up giving his weapon a shield, which means that could be strong in like the harder difficulties, like Nightmare mode and Hard mode Arena. And his base weapon just does butt ton of damage. Combine that with the fact that you get to farm while you're using him, he's really, really strong hero. So Leppy is a nice one to have in your arsenal, 100%. I'll charge 2 AoE, projectile, vulnerability, cooldown, health, regen. Yeah, I mean, those look like the right gems, Maddie. Or sorry, the right jewels. You could drop projectile M&P and AoE for more survivability, so more regen. The idea being you don't need to clear anything out, just make sure they don't hit you. So I never played Overwatch. First-person shooters were not my game. I never played that. Never played Fortnite. I played Marvel Snap. I got up to like diamond level in Snap. I'm like better at like the strategy battle games. So that, and then League of Runeterra. I got up to, I think, like gold or diamond in there, platinum, something like that. Horror games. I played Resident Evil on PlayStation when I was 8, 9 years old, and the dogs jumped through the window in the first 10 minutes, and I never played a horror game after that. I mean, me and my friend were literally running around the den screaming our brains off out about those dogs from Resident Evil 1 or 2 for PlayStation. So those graphics, you can find it on YouTube. It's scared the bejesus out of me. I never played a horror game after that. I watched the TV show The Witcher. I think that was a cool game. Cool. That was great. That was a fun show. I don't know if the game matches the show. And I really liked the first season of The Last of Us. The Last of Us, is that what it was? The kind of like the spore zombie game. So, but I never played horror games. Four-star boar, 5-star boar is also really big too. You'll get like a big damage boost in 5-star boar. Ride this guys. So big boost there. Hey Curtis, hi to you. I don't know if do you have an in-game name I would know you better by, but thanks for coming. Yeah, Dota would be fun. Or even like right? What was that? What was Dota based on? Warcraft, right? Tower defense? Was it Warcraft, right? Like where you just like literally had to like do like a straight up tower defense. That could be fun. Honestly, the spam ads that Swift does to get people to buy the game, they should do a game mode with those. Like those like choose the right direction to go, like have your guy like go through horde. Like you just do like a fun. They should turn their spam ads that people click on into actual game modes. It seems like that'd be fun. All right, hey Aiden, let me read your question here. I hit 2 jackpots netting 2 jackpots. What? What? Assassin, 3-star, 1-star forge, and 8K? Dude. I struggle to get to like the 600 depth and enough for a weapon. What in the world? So you already got assassin. So I mean I would have said get 2 heroes, so get assassin and Void Raven, or get assassin and Phantom Fang, and then worry about forging him up and starring him up later. Would have been like my like high level advice. You're at 8K. If you can get 2 Phantom Fang and you don't have it, I'm telling you that's like kind of like crappy advice, but spend more gems to get there if you can. I don't know if I would actually do that or not. Probably wouldn't do that. 8K. You could put more. So what I'm like, if I didn't need Phantom Fang right now, I would be getting Forge tokens and Hero Shards and Super tokens. So I would say those. Invest in those are usually the best thing in events you can get are Hero Shards, Hero Forge tokens, or Super tokens. So that's probably what I would spend the remaining 8K on. Also, jewels are always good to get. I don't remember off the top of my head which one are in this event, but good jewels are also always a good spend. Generally, don't buy keys, and that's probably the worst ones to get. I like the show. I liked Witcher the show, so I should probably play the game. I've been so out of touch on console games. I've only been on the computer. Although they might have computer Witcher at this point. Yeah. Okay, it was Warcraft 3, right? There we go. Yeah, I never played Dota. I was, like I said, I was in the like beta League of Legends, so I've always been a League guy. Right now I've been playing Balatro too. I was on a plane for a long time, and Balatro was really good if you have like a long time to kill. That one's a little. I should probably make like intro to Balatro videos too in my non-existent free time. Dialis. Okay, sorry, Chris. I don't think I've heard that one before. But feel free to. I'm available in Discord. So like, you know, if you ever have any questions, feel free to ping me on Discord. I generally try to answer. I put a little bit more priority on answering Patreon and member questions. But if you ping me on Discord, I'll get to you eventually for sure. And just stop by and say hello for sure. I'm just a guy in my basement in today in this random room. Let's see. So yeah, Agile. I will say that the one thing that I recommend buying, I don't do a lot of recommend spending money. The one thing I 100% do is no ads. So if you like this game and you're going to be playing for like more than a month, no ads makes it an actual game. Before that, you're playing it, but you're playing a freemium version. No ads just makes it like 100 times better. And you can stop there. So, right, like, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with buying free ads and stopping, and then just having fun grinding. Because you get the core gameplay at that point, but it just makes it like so much better. Does moving in guild event? I try not to. So guild event is the thing where it's hard until it's not. You're gonna hit a point where like every hero can clear it. Before that, not moving I think is better than moving. That lets the horde get on the screen as fast as they can unless you clear them out. So I generally try and stand still in guild event, but eventually you're going to hit a point where your gear is so strong that you can just you'll get like you max out usually like in the 29,000 something, no matter like what hero you're using, unless you're using Dark Mage. Dark Mage breaks guild event and she can get over 30,000. Yeah, Maddie, that's cheating. So I've gotten Warlord and Scrap Hammer over the last year from events, but in the same event is ridiculous. Steam is great. I used to play Factorio on Steam. I played that for a couple months. That one too. Like, I got the concept, but you watch the speedrunners on Factorio, and it's nuts. I don't know how they do that. And Balatro is a lot of fun. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Spend super tokens. So, Curtis, generally high-level super token usage, in my opinion, is your main hero up to 4-star Forge or 5-star Forge, and then Boar. So, if you don't have a favorite hero yet, then spending on Boar is always a good spend, because you'll use that in basically every run you ever run. So, definitely a good spend on super tokens. But yeah, generally, like conceptually, I'd say get your main hero up to 4-star Forge because the Evo on their main weapon's really big. And then, yeah, Boar is it would be my next max. So, I'm fine there. Thanks a lot, Curtis, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing. This has been so much fun. I was working at a startup that I started for like a decade, and we hit like a rough patch for the last year and a half. And so it's been nice to go and do something where like every day is not a shitty day and every day is a great day. And so I won't be able to keep doing videos like 4 times a week. It'll be like 1 a week going forward. But it's been so much fun to do this stuff. It's been like so refreshing to not be at a job where I would literally drop my kids off at school and then just like sit in the car and be sad for 10 minutes before I started working. It's nice to like go inside and work again. And I'd really recommend getting out of those jobs. I've had 2 of those now in my career where like Sundays become the worst day of the week because Monday's going to suck. And so do whatever you can to like get out of those jobs. So your life gets like immeasurably better. Okay. Yeah. 29,000. You're already at the cap. So like maybe you'll probably get your build. Maybe Sky's like, right. GE is generally just projectiles. So it's hero dependent. So like heroes with range. So Bunny's really good. Assassin is probably the single best GE hero. But any hero with range that shoots projectiles is your best bet. So it could just be like try a different hero. or but like 28, 29,000, you're maxing out, and I wouldn't sweat it too much. Eventually, it just becomes like, how much noble gear can you get away with before your guild kicks you out? That's why I've been in Cake or Death now for like a couple month or two, which is like our top guild, and so I do all my guild runs, but I wear as much noble gear as I can, and I've been the worst person in our guild for 2 months. So I keep offering to do more runs because I feel bad, because like everyone else is max gear and like way better, like 302 here or whatever, and I'm just like trying to not get thrown out of the guild while throwing on as much noble gear as I can during a guild run. So that's what guild run turns into. 100 humans will beat 1 gorilla, I'd hope. Sorry, I got a merge going. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 100 humans can beat 1 gorilla, right? Just don't attack serially. Attack it once. my thought on that one. Awesome. What do you know what rank you are in Dungeon Divers? I can pull it up in the game too. If you're in top 200. Yeah, I really loved raid leading back in World of Warcraft, and I have no interest in being a guild leader here. I think Kevin does a great job. Yessa Macau founded Cakery. Cakery is awesome. If you guys want to join a guild that is just phenomenal, Cakery is it. Don't join Ultima, whatever you do. Oh shit. Hopefully there's no lag. Oh, we did it. Finally, a powder blue. Look at that guy. Oh, he's so pretty. They picked a nice color. If I could cry, I'd probably have like a tear. But yeah, don't join Ultima. Oh shit, another one. Look at that night gear. Oh man, 2 pieces of night gear. I actually think, did I get night ring? Was that my first one? This one's actually good. No, it's not. Gain rage for 5 seconds. So Hacks told me that you can use night ring in Dragon's Tower for the explosion to help clear out Horde. So I'll give that a shot. Hey, it actually is working. We got some heroic gear. How cool is that? Very cool. Maddie, I did consulting for 2 years out of college, and then I became a product manager at a startup, a real estate company called Movoto, and then transitioned into marketing there. That company got acquired 2013, and so I started my own startup in 2015. That company got acquired in 2013. I left in 2015 to start my own startup. So I do online marketing and like general startup-y stuff. Thanks, guys. That was cool. I've never seen a powder blue in my own account. I've only ever seen it in people I look up to's account. So big shout out. So to me, Wave and Hack Senin were my coaches early, like right when I joined Cakery, and they helped me get better at this game tremendously. Like I got into the guild because I got recruited by headhunters, Cakery. Did Ultima reach out to me? Well, maybe somebody in Ultima reached out to me right when I started posting videos, because I was like at the end of the game and I was in that like smaller guild. And I'm super happy I joined the Cakery. That was like the best decision I made in this game, 100%. Yeah, so Wave was super helpful. Hack Senin has been super, super helpful. The whole gang there is so much fun to hang out with. Really, really engaged. And so like really, really fun to do. So I highly recommend. The Cakery is usually recruiting for everything. And some of the best players have retired. So there's even room at the top for you to join. It's a great place if you want a gang, or be like Maddie and start your own gang and your own guild and just be the best. But it's a lot of fun. Like getting into a guild that's not dead makes the game like way more fun. or like, you know, hanging out with people generally. So. John, are you Jon Snow or are you different John? But yeah, Cake or Death is usually tie for number one. Like everyone there is usually beat all the chapters. And then Let Them Eat Cake, which is what I originally went into, is our second tier, and they're the second tier. They're just as good as everyone in. All the players are just as good as everyone in Cake or Death. They just have less game time. And there's been a couple of great players in Let Them Eat Cake. So Cake Invictus, who's been one of my longest running executive producers. He was I think the head of Let Them Eat Cake, although I think he's retired and he might be here now. But he was one of the guys that quit, I think, partly because of the Avatar event. But he's been in Let Them Eat Cake. Exghetto was in Let Them Eat Cake. Cosmin, who was my very first comment, which is pretty cool. Cosmin TD was like, good game, well played, on like my first video on New Year's Eve when I was just like so sick of work. Was my first comment, and now he's in Cake or Death. So like he's with me now, ride or die. It's great. It's been so much fun to play with him. 302, I think, was the one that actually recruited me into Cakery. He's a great guy. It's so much fun. Making friends in video games is great. Like, it's just, you know, I mean, I've been playing games my whole life, so like I'm used to it, but it's so much fun. So if you have no ads pack, Jill, but for heroic gear, the problem is you're not going to have Santa. Santa is the real big speed boost to heroic gear. I mean, you might get him luckily. I bought Santa, but then rolled him at Christmas time this year. So I guess I would have had him around Christmas. But he's the one like pay to go faster hero for grinding. Other than that, so he'll save you like months, 1 or 2 months. So it took me like 420, 430, 440 days. It would have taken probably more like 500 days, I guess, with Santa, something like that. It's a big time save. But he's the only one that makes it go faster in the sense of like gold key chance. Other than that, it's just finding a hero that you're going to want to do. The one thing was I did 4,000 runs with Santa. Like, I love that hero. He's actually my favorite hero, but I'm so happy not to be using Santa anymore. The last week I've been able to use heroes that aren't Santa and not feel bad about it. And it's been so much more fun. So, that's the one downside of having like such an exclusively better farmer, is you are just stuck using him, which is like, I mean, it's fine, but, so think like 500 days maybe to full heroic with just a no ads pack. Okay, cool. Hey, John. Let's see. Yeah, if you have 7 or 8 people talking in chat, though, that's fine. And definitely, like, if you're having fun, then go for it, right? Like, the problem was I was the only one really talking, and then, like, Bones and X-Slayer would respond on occasion. So, like, I was talking to myself in a guild, which wasn't as much fun. Yeah, so the big issue with the Avatar event was a lot of endgame players quit over it, or like got upset by it. Everyone I've basically talked to that wants to Pokemon this thing, like collect them all, just got super frustrated with the idea that like you can never get them again. And so a lot of endgame players were like in that headspace. And like technically I'll never be as strong as Wisdom because I don't have those 3 heroes. Right. So like I'm never going to be the best in the game. At least by my pure damage output, unless they do some kind of like Dragon Tower nerf to things. And so a lot of people got upset by that aspect of the avatar thing. And it's probably that plus like a general malaise with the game. I mean, it is like people play for a year. Like that's a long time for a video game, especially when you're playing it every day. So like people quitting, I think, is part of the natural ebb and flow of the game. It's just like I think that event was a catalyst for some people. Yeah. Okay. So Invictus is right. That's a perfectly valid reason, and I think that's true, right? So I think I have the nice thing about being, I guess, a creator is that I do get a little back channels into the devs, and the devs that work on the game want the game to be awesome. So like Freywood, Survivor One, those guys, they want the game to be great, but the company was bought by like essentially like a private equity group last year, and so like they're going to have like they must have like a shit ton of pressure just to like maximize revenue. And the other issue is I think most of the player base, because they don't have like a forever kind of evolving PvP scene, a lot of the player base is just new, right? So most of the players never get to nightmare mode. Most of the players are definitely not clearing nightmare mode, and so I don't know their exact financials, but it's going to be some version of, I don't know how many keys I just opened, by the way. It's going to be a lot of keys. But their financials, so mobile games in general are dominated financially by whales. There are stories of like people spending, I mean, Bunny on this server spent a couple 100,000, or at least 100,000, I think is the rumor. That is not uncommon for Candy Crush. Like there are many people who play Candy Crush that have spent like 6 digits. And they get flown out to like events, and the game caters to them. Like they'll get hotels. Like they need to cater towards those people. But with this game, there's such a constant churn that I imagine the whales can only are probably not as a bigger percentage of it, and so they have to cater to the new players as well as the old players. So long way-winded of saying that, like, I think the devs themselves 100% care that the game is great, but they're dealing with financial pressure probably from a VC group, and there's probably a project manager somewhere that's like messing with it. So like totally understand Cake Invictus's rationale. Like it's hard. At the end of the day, probably the business side is winning. Recently, it feels like the business side is winning more than the dev side. And here we go. Boop. Apparently, I'm getting the night set no matter what here. So at least we got the night set. Yeah, Stocious, I took your advice. So I've been merging as we go because I didn't want to get stuck merging later for hours. So I've been merging as we go. I've been cheating a little bit. But that was like a good like couple thousand there I just merged by not paying attention to how many times I was hitting this button over and over again. I think Bunny might have, I don't know who's stronger, Bunny or Wisdom. You can check the power scores in the game. You can like see the list. I can check real quick. I'm in the game. I can like do the math. The question is, do I remember how to do power score checking? Here it is. Ooh, JB beating out Wisdom right now, and John is June. I think is he Korean? Yeah, he's the best. He's the highest ranked Korean player. Got Headhunters, Aces. Mosin, not my favorite person. I know who's awesome is Seymour. If you guys spend any time talking to him, he's the same guy even in direct messages. He's an awesome dude. Yeah, dude. Kick or Death, man. It's got some of the best players in the game. It's awesome. But yeah, so it looks like Wisdom's a little better than Bunny. I use Wisdom as a general rule of thumb. Okay, so JB is the Russian Wisdom. And then there's Bunny. So I think the one thing with Bunny is that Wisdom is basically Bunny who cares. So Bunny just likes buying everything. And then Wisdom's like, what if you actually tried? I think that's the difference. And man, when I first started this channel, I have to do a whole video on like the characters of HVH. But Bunny and Mosin used to drive me nuts. Oh my gosh. When I was first starting out, like everything, like for some stupid reason, the guys in Ultima don't think there's a clear ranking of like better heroes than worse heroes. And then they immediately say Warlord's the best hero. So like that's internally, it doesn't make any sense. But so I did like one of my first videos was a ranking thing. And then just to deal with them saying like you can't rank heroes and like complaining with like my 24th versus 26th ranking. It's like, guys. And so when I was trying to build like any semblance of credibility, they were a real pain in the ass. But it turns out Mosin's a dick and Bunny's just a troll. And so Bunny I love. Bunny's awesome. Like he can troll me all day long. When he's trolling you, it means you're doing something right. But Mosin's just a mean person. So like, there's that. And that's why you shouldn't join Ultima, because of him. Let's see. I've been blabbing on. Let me go back. So merge buttons. Yeah, the Avatar hero. I tried to put out as many warnings as I could when it first came out that like you can't invest in them long term. Which so I yeah, but it's just not. It was bad. It was bad. Yeah, so I'm $400 into this game, and I'm upset with myself for the way I spent the last 200. I've said it in a bunch of videos, right? Buying Barbarian for $100 irks me, and that was because of the ranking. That's part of the reason why I try and keep the ranking up to date. Was that Barbarian was listed as like the best hero, and I was like, oh, I need to get the best hero. And I hated that money that I spent on him. And then the other extra $100 was beating 202. Oh, that was so bad. Don't play video games at 2 a.m. Don't spend money on video games at 2 a.m. Yeah, Bunny's actually awesome. I mean, unfortunately, he's a troll, and so like new players to the game that enter into Discord immediately get hit with this troll. That's just going to make fun of them. But he's coming at it from like a fun troll angle. He's not coming at it like he's not a bad person. So like you have to get, he's an acquired taste, but once you get used to him, he's really funny. And I think he's not ill-willed. That's the thing. Like he'll actually show that he's a regular human being frequently. Ultima requires you to upload your W-2 in capital gains. I mean, think those guys. That's the thing. They've spent like they're doing their Ultima thing, but like they're still 390, 390, 301 with all of us. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Yeah, I live in their heads rent free. That's my one saving grace. I spent $100 on 202. It's in one of the earliest videos I made. I just joined the cakery. I felt pressure. I was just starting to do videos. I felt pressure to like not get stuck in nightmare mode. And 201 was real hard. And then I hit 202 and I was like, oh geez. I put like 50 to 60 runs into 202. I spent like every day I would use all my energy on 202 and I just wasn't making any progress. And I had one decent run at like 1 a.m. And I was like, I'm just going to use gems to get through it. And I thought I would spend like $20 on gems, and it ended up being 100, and it was awful. So I've made it my mission to make sure that doesn't happen to anybody else. So that's part of the reason why I do these explainer videos and stuff. Is like, don't ever feel pressured to spend $100 on gems for anything. It's part of the reason why I do all that stuff. But you can use your VIP level as a rough gauge. There's an image somewhere on Discord, but it essentially doubles. It's $300 to get to VIP 7. So then it's $600 to get to 8. So if you're somewhere in VIP 7, you're somewhere in the $300 to $600 range. Yeah, I feel you, Invictus. I did the same thing, without. I mean, I hadn't gotten the heroes, but like I had spent the like when I assumed there wasn't going to be a hard mode, and so I spent all my tokens, and then hard mode came out, and I was like, why, guys? Like announce it at the beginning, or like even if you're thinking about it, like give people a heads up, you know. So like, you're perfectly justified in your position. I agree. The other one, right, and this goes back, is like Nerf Lord, that saga. So at the time, I didn't have Warlord, and so I just knew that he was good, and I didn't know why. I hadn't done the research into why. And that Nerf came out right when everybody had bought them. So they just had a Warlord wheel, and then they nerfed him the next day. And the optics of that were so stupid. And then you had like Tommy, who's like, again, the developers want the game to be good, but Tommy is super brash in Discord, and it doesn't come off well. So like when you have people that are like, I think justifiably upset over the optics, and you have him talking like that to players that are like paying the money, it's not a great combination. But the thing to know is that like Warlord needed the nerf, so like all they had to do was announce it, and it impacts him so that you can't auto clear nightmare mode, and more importantly, just farm 280 nightmare mode without moving with Warlord. It used to be that he had healed so much you didn't have to move, which is like not good. So here's the thing: it's a one-player game. So like I was talking about earlier, this isn't PvP. It honestly doesn't really matter. Like if Warlord can stand still and heal, then it's a nifty trick of the game that honestly, like, it doesn't technically matter. So that's the other thing, is like philosophically, they didn't have to nerf him. So yeah, it's a mixed opinion. Like I get Freywood trying to balance Dragon's Tower, which was what he was trying to do, around the fact that Warlord, there is no healing in Dragon's Tower. So he's dealing with that on the back end. And then, but the front end was just a mess. So they handled the PR on that and the timing god awfully. But Warlord is still fine, and he needed the nerf for Dragon's Tower. So they should have rolled it into that, and they should have given people warning. So there was the issue there. So that's not awesome. This doesn't come off well for the company and for the devs. And then this was like another like 6 months later, the Avatar event. So it's like 2 events in 6 months that weren't great. And they've tested but haven't rolled out the 2 other really crappy things for players, which were like a shorter mine event and the stupid freaking pick up the XP after the level ends, which was like just so dumb. They rolled both of those back, which is nice, but yeah. So that's like you get those series of things, and it's understandable that people are going to give us up. I don't have to relive it, but it's just right. It's you know that their future actions are going to be somewhat guided by the results of what they did with Nerf Lord, what they did with Avatar. So like, there's those undercurrents. So if you don't like the state of the game, totally understandable to get out of it. 20K gold? What are you guys doing? I've never gotten one of these jackpot things. I'll show you. I'll be at like 10K at tomorrow morning. But 20K? What? I love Big Game Hunter. Big Game Hunter, I think thematically is fantastic on several levels. The first one is that like they need more heroes with an identity, and Big Game Hunter is boss brawl. Like the hero was made for the event, which is awesome. They have Leppy for coin farming. They have Santa for key farming. They should have more heroes where it is the event. Like they are tied to the thing, and that's like who they are. And Big Game Hunter is made for boss brawl. So an unforged Big Game Hunter will be one of your best brawl heroes just out of the box. And then 5-star forge, really, really strong for boss brawl. He makes all of your other heroes strong for boss brawl. Big Game Hunter, I think, is a really fun hero for that thematic reason. It's also just I like this play style. I mean, you have to like turn and aim. Oh, and that's the one. It's actually interesting. This stationary autoplay does have like an impact. It makes non-auto aimers obviously into auto aimers, which significantly ups their DPS. So anytime you can afford without like dying to turn on auto mode and auto aim, you'll get a DPS boost. So like if you're using Bunny in guild event, doing it on auto will be a DPS boost because he'll start attacking appropriately without having to move your guy around. So that's a one little perk to any non-auto aimer. If you can toggle on your little skill expression, toggling on and off your auto aim. Yeah, I think they moved the pet thing because some players don't get pets until level 100 now, and so they didn't want it in the bottom until like that late in the game. Yeah, Reddit and Discord are full of screenshots of jackpots, and also people posting, don't do lucky draw, guys, or only do lucky draw if you have 17,000 gems and you want to spend them all, because you're gonna get unlucky. And there's so many posts on Reddit of like, why didn't I get it? It's like, you gotta push the little I button, guys. Like this whole game is like knowing the probabilities. Yeah, Reddit was my source of was like my Discord was my me back in the day. I got a bunch of coaching. Oh yeah, the other coach I didn't mention was Spider Pig. Spider Pig is awesome. Spider Pig is more European. Like I don't know if he's German or Dutch, but like very to the point. And he's just like, you suck, get better. And it's like, thank you, dude. I needed that. Spider Pig is a great coach. And like super like offering of his time. And so I really appreciate that too. But Reddit was my old coach. So Foyer, I don't know if that's how you say his name or not on Reddit. He's the most he's OG Reddit. If you have any questions on Heroes versus Hordes prior to 2025, he was answering you quickly. He was awesome. He's been around a long time, super knowledgeable, really, I super highly value his opinion. We disagree on a bunch of things, but like he's always coherent in his thinking. So another good guy to like take advice from. And then there's like Zwoo, ZZWOZZZ. He's another OG kind of Reddit guy. And when I was stuck in nightmare mode back in the old school one, he was my only source of advice. And he was like, just use Sentry Specialist and don't suck. And I was like, that's not helpful. So he posted a video. And the guy's like in all ascended gear, maybe he has been in all ascended, maybe mythic. And I'm like in legendary gear trying to do the same thing. He's like, why don't you just do it better? And it's like, well, because you have way better gear than me, bro. So throw me a strat. And he ended up helping me. But yeah. So I was joking with the guys in the guild that like, you're lucky you have me, because before me, you had him. So that was the difference. Oh yeah, dude. Level 12 vulnerability. It's like 1 in several million. Something stupid like that. I mean, it's nutty. Because you have to have, it's the probability of getting a unique jewel on top of the probability of getting a 12. So that double whammy. Oh man. All right. That double whammy is really big. Here's, boom. Is that piece any good? I don't know if the heroic noble chest. Heroic, you want noble helm. Oh man. Boop. Yeah, so heroic noble helm is what I really want for that shard dance. And then I think this is good. Anyway, they should all become heroic, right? Because math. I was gonna be real sad if like they're not all heroic and I gotta keep grinding. That'd be sad. That'd be sad. Oh, sorry, I missed your question. Yeah, 302's got it. I would do assassin 100%. Oh yeah, so you got 20K to spend. Assassin 100%. So I'm really excited for Phantom Fang because it's going to be my first bleed effect from a weapon. And so for all my heroes that don't have bleed, for boss brawl it'd be nice. So like Bunny, Big Game Hunter, it'll be a nice status bonus for them, combined with like this heroic gear. Will be nice. All right, I gotta click these buttons faster because this is taking longer than I thought. All right, if I double click, I can speed this up. Yeah, I've been opening keys for 2 hours. Whew. That was a quick 2 hours at least, guys. Appreciate you being here. Voice lines would be hero. I think they should do like hero intros, right? Like they should have videos for every hero and a little bit more lore. I mean, you have to be big enough so that you're investing in lore. But I stopped playing League of Legends and TFT for like 5 years, and then Arcane came out, and that show was so awesome. I started playing TFT again. So like, if you invest, like, you have to think of lore as more like a marketing channel and like a reason to keep people invested in the game longer term. It definitely does. Obviously, has like no impact on like the gameplay, but it gets people to associate themselves more with the characters and like the character, how like understand them more and like them. So voiceovers would also be very cool. But they should at least have like intro videos, like with some minimal lore. I mean, like I can like I when I do a hero video, it takes me like 8 hours now, like all in between like writing the script, filming it, and editing it. It's not a lot of time. I mean, like they come out with one new hero every 2 weeks, right? Like they could have like a like one person 1 day time, right? Even at like that's like $400, $500, and like paying someone in the US to do that, like that should be doable. Arcane is League, but it's also TFT because it's the same IP. So I was more of a TFT player at that point, and so I got back into it for TFT. And they had who was the boss? The bad guy in the first season was not actually in League originally, and they made him for TFT, so that was cool. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head, but the fact that he used to inject like poison into people, that was a good show. I do play Plants vs. Zombies. I played it a lot more when it first came out. When was that? 15 years ago? My sons play it now. It's a good airplane game. Yeah, what other games have I been playing? I go back and I play Mario 64 once a year and Zelda 64. And I say Mario. Maddie, I don't know if you say Mario too, but it's not Mario, it's Mario. That's a New Jersey accent thing. Unfortunately, both my kids say Mario, which is not the right way to say it. I have not played that. Travian? No. I'm trying to think. I played Clicker Heroes for a vacation one year. That was fun. Like I played 2 weeks of Clicker Heroes. That game was actually so goofy. My kids downloaded it, and it's an idle clicker, so it's basically like this right now. But it ended up being some like fun strategy and like how you can optimize your not playing time to come back to like the game. So that was fun. Shovel Knight. No, I never played Shovel Knight. I played Toy Blast. Played that one for a while. It's like Candy Crush kind of game. That was more just like to pass the time. I've played Candy Crush. That's not like particularly interesting though. Oh no, you say Mario the right way? You say Mario? Oh man, you're not from New Jersey. It's Mario. Like, I don't know. That's what he says. It's a me, Mario. And then you actually hear it and you're like, oh wait, that's not what he's saying, but it's fine. I'm gonna try and speed run through the rest of this. Rest of these. I should have been tapping on this chest the whole time, but what can you do? 4,700 in. I think I'm going faster now, at least. Yeah, coffee. I never got the water one, the water. That one never happened to me. I can barely speak English. So all of my videos are so heavily edited on getting the cadence correct. I do not have a natural YouTube voice. And so I spend an ungodly amount of time making sure that the pauses and intonations between words is appropriate. Like that's all manufactured. What I have learned over the last 7 months now of doing videos is like you can make any schmo like into a coherent video with enough takes. So for a 10-minute video, it's like 30 minutes unedited for like point of reference. And then it's just like a whole bunch of me like making it sound like I'm not an idiot. And I have found that if I script out a video, the information density is way better. But the scripting takes like another 4 hours, and so at this point, I just can't afford to keep doing that. Both between the read and the writing of it. So I've been doing like you can probably tell like more like tier listy kind of things. It's just because those take less time to prep. Dragon's Tower, which I did yesterday, that was like 4 hours of writing to get it ready, and then the filming took an hour because I had to do so many takes on like certain parts that I wanted to get right. But general like rule of like time wise, just tier lists are like much easier to do. And it's been fascinating to learn about like I try to minimize the amount of like brain rot retention holders that I do in the videos. So like I do a lot in the first 30 seconds to a minute is probably you guys will notice like the most of me like doing sound effects and movement. But you notice that stuff more after you've been editing for 6 months. Is like how much little sound effects matter and music matters, like the sound of music. You end up paying attention to a lot of little things that you don't know that you need to know at the beginning. The big one too is lighting. Like if you guys look at the first videos, my lighting was so bad, and my skin was so bad. I don't know if you guys. I had to do so much color correction on my face to make myself not look like an idiot. And now I don't do any, but like one tip is like get cleanser. I didn't know what cleanser was. My wife was like, just use cleanser. I was like, what is cleanser? That makes your skin way better. Yeah, I am literally a guy in my basement that loves playing video games. No desire to be an influencer. I just like hanging out with people that like video games and chatting. So like, if I didn't have to get a real job, I would just keep doing this full time because like this is my idea of fun is like doing videos and then interacting with people about like silly stuff. Oh man, what part of the Ozarks? I've been to Branson a couple times. It's been fun. Yeah, I grew up in, like I said, I grew up in New Jersey, went to school in California, so I was very East Coast, West Coast snob. And then I've now lived in like Durham and St. Louis and like experienced more of the country. All of America is great. Every place is unique. It's got its own like fun little specialties and like traits. And I think that's kind of lost on people because they don't interact with people around the country as much. But it's been fun to move around and like learn all the regional stuff. So the Ozarks are awesome. Like great place to go on vacation. Okay, I gotta stop pushing. What am I pushing? Oh, pushing the chest too many times. Come on, Kolz. Did it. Okay, so I allotted 2 hours for this in my head, and I'm at 2.5. My wife was definitely gonna get mad at me in a half an hour. So I'm gonna try and speed run this and get it done in a half an hour. If not, I might need to call it at like 2 Eastern. she'll probably come in and yell at me, which is fine if I need to go. But again, I appreciate everybody being here. I honestly thought that no one would show up. So the fact that anybody, I appreciate every single one of you. It's really cool. And it's nice to have a community around the game. So you guys should keep talking to each other too. Everyone's all open in Discord and around. So keep it going. So Aang and Katara, this is from Wisdom, I think, or Helion, or one of the other Ultima guys. But Katara, I've heard, is the better of the two, of Aang and Katara. I don't have personal experience. I don't own either of them. But I've heard that from a pure damage playing perspective, that Katara is better than Aang. They both have really good globals, so having both of them is also just great to have. But I've heard that from actually playing the game, that Katara is better. Thank you, Curtis. Appreciate it, dude. That's fine, Webba. You should just do whatever is fun. That's basically at the end of the day, right? This game is supposed to be fun. So things like this should just make playing the game more fun at the end of the day. Because if you're not having fun, you shouldn't be playing. So I have found that interacting with people makes it more fun, personally. But you do you, dude, 100%. I haven't been. My hot take is that I hate Colorado. When you fly in and out of Denver, there's always turbulence because of the altitude and the way it plays off the mountains, and so I hate it. And then I have an ex-girlfriend that lives there, and so I double hate Colorado. So I am. My hot take is that I don't like Colorado. What is my favorite food and drink? So drink is Diet Coke. And favorite food? Pizza, probably. I also enjoy a really good sandwich. Classic me really likes roast lamb. I'm a big foodie. I actually have a food blog. So if you're ever in St. Louis, I can give you food recs, and what to do in St. Louis. Also, if anyone's ever in St. Louis, DM me. I'm happy to go meet you for a sandwich or for some pizza or coffee or whatever. But yeah, I like good food. I don't really care what kind. Been really into Szechuan. There's a giant Asian population in St. Louis, and some of the best Asian food I've had, even better than Los Angeles and New York City. Awesome. So I am a equal opportunity foodist. So Mustafa, I did consulting for 2 years. I did product management for 2 years, and then I've been a high-level marketing executive for internet startups for 15. So mostly internet stuff. I've taught myself how to code, and then all online marketing. So SEO, social, all that jazz. So I'll probably start up. So now I'm at the point where I'm trying to either figure out if I can I've had side projects for 10 years too. And so I'm trying to see if I can make those into full-time. Yeah. I've been opening chests for 2 hours and I'm still going. I have not officially been opening chests. I have not been tapping enough, as now I'm over tapping. So I have not officially been opening chests for 2 hours. I've been having more fun talking by accident, so I apologize for that. Holy moly. Dice Dash, you naturaled Clockwork Mage? So you didn't have to use any gems? Because I think the odds of that are 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 20,000. So that's awesome. If you did, you're the proof that probabilities are real. But even spending gems on the Clockwork Mage, definitely worth it for sure. I actually really like the dice event. I go into it assuming I'm not going to get the hero, But if you take that mentality, you get a ton of resources. So everything else that you get in the event from going around all that time is super, super worth it. So it's actually one of the better like free to play events out there. And then if you do get lucky, you could just spend like $20 to get the hero. So I think that's actually one of my, given that they've given rid of grind event, one of my more favorite ones. Okay, yeah, 5K gems is awesome. 5K gems or less for a hero is where you want to be. So that's awesome. I moved out of Morristown when I was 18, so I never drank there. And I'm really boring. I drink like whatever's cheapest. Part of my glowing personality is that I save money by not going to bars. Or when I do, I just get like a Bud Light or something like that. I do really like IPAs. I appreciate that they've made other drugs legal in most states, including Missouri. So that's nice. But I honestly, my wife makes fun of me all the time. I don't really like spend money on things. So like, I have like a video game budget for the year, and that's all I do. That and food. I do like getting. So you can get really good food, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, that crashed. Doesn't have to be expensive. Like you can get. There's a Chinese place that has the best Chinese food I've ever had, and it's $20. Like you better than LA, better than New York City, better than New Jersey. $20 for Chinese food. It's awesome. I'm gonna pause my phone real quick just to make sure it's not dying. Let me see. Okay, it was at 17%. You can see it there. So let's charge it back up. It is now taking. I am lagging. So if you guys are seeing lag, it's because my phone is lagging. It's not you guys. Yeah, but see like that, $9 for 300 tokens, $9 for a hero if you're going to pay to play this game, phenomenal deal. Like that's what if you're gonna be spending money, that's how you should be spending it. Like I said, like if I had more efficiently spent my last $200, I'd have like 10 more heroes and like way better roster. So like you can I spend money on, I have like a video game budget. I'm all for spending money on video games. You should just do it. I try and give people efficient ways to spend. I am pro spending. Especially if it makes it more fun. Like that's the big thing. Like getting Santa for me made the game 30 times more fun. Unlocking no ads is 100 times more fun than ads. I just got it from my mother-in-law plays Mahjong, and I bought her the no ads pack because she's been playing Mahjong for 3 years without no ads. It's like I should have gotten that for her such a long time ago. But yeah, $9 for a hero. If you're like gonna spend $10 a month, it's a great deal. I missed that Webba. I need to set up my. That's not an excuse. I need to set up my alerts better on Patreon. I get Patreon alerts if you directly message me, but I don't get them to that group chat. So I need to get alerts to that group chat because I'm taking too long to respond there. But that's awesome. 2K gems for Clockwork Mages. Like sign me up. That's amazing. Congrats on that one. Yeah, I spent 17K gems on Monk and on Barbarian. So I'm not opposed to spending gems on those if you really like the hero. And that's what I try and like model out my rankings on. It's like if I was going to spend $20 or spend 17,000 gems, I want to make sure that whoever's buying them will be happy with the product. And so I think heroes like Clockwork Mage, Warlord, Santa, you're going to be really happy with what you won't have any regrets. Whereas like I do. And so we don't want other people to have those same regrets. All right, I'm under 3,000 gems, 3,000 keys. I've been going much faster, but my phone is starting to like not enjoy my presence. wonder if my memory is starting to go. Do I have enough room on this phone to record this? I don't know. Whoops. Yeah, saving up the keys is a long time. And I was saying at the beginning of the cast that I basically like had to find ways to make it fun otherwise, because like opening keys is a lot of fun. Like as you go, opening them is fun. So like to make up for the fact that I wasn't opening keys for 6 months, I've just been like opening everything else as fast as I can. Like I would say pick something to save up and then open everything else up as fast as you can. The next thing I'm gonna be saving up is runes. I'm gonna try and do that long time. That the waitlist. So you buy the legendary pass after you have like 10,000 runes saved up, and then use them to get the waitlisted heroes that you want. All right, I thought I crashed my phone, but it came back to life. That's actually really pretty. All those rows of like the same item. Let's see. Santa comes around like every 4 to 6 months. I think he's one of the more popular heroes. So like Santa, Clockwork Mage, Warlord, they come back a lot because I think a lot of people buy them. I love sushi. Sushi's great. Probably gonna have it in the next couple of days here at the shore. Cool. Well, that's all purple. Would have been great if they took the holiday heroes. Yeah, those heroes are just great too because they have thematics, right, and identities. So like the big one too, Pumpkin Shade's another really good example. Like he's the hero orb guy. Like you should have a dust guy by now. Like whoever new hero comes out should be like, you're the dust hero where you get way more dust. All right, here we go, another ring. Boom. Oh man, there are a lot of yellows in this next one. Oh, there it is. All right. Well, I'm happy. I got the one I wanted to get. So at the end of this day, if I did not get the noble heroic helm, I was gonna be real sad. But I got it. So helpful for me. All right, Lady Akeka. I watched your video 4 times. I'm probably still saying it wrong right now, but I will get it right in every additional video because I watch it 4 times and then say it 4 times to make sure that I have one take that's correct. I'm so sorry that I can never say it right. But I've been watching that thing. I've watched your pronunciation video like 8 times, and I still apologize for not saying it. My mouth does not function properly. But it's great to have you here, and thank you for supporting the channel. It's been awesome. I really, really appreciate it. So I've been opening keys for 2.5 hours and almost done. I got less than 3,000 to go. A couple of heroic knight pieces so far. Just hit that heroic noble helm. Gonna keep on going. Yeah, Maddie, I'm at the LBI in Barnegat Light. We come here every summer for 2 weeks. It's like a pilgrimage to New Jersey, back to our roots. I've been coming to the shore for every year since I was a kid. Oh, I haven't noticed the air quality being bad down here. But I haven't been outside today. I've been prepping for this. So tomorrow. Special heroes, faction heroes do not show up in Lucky Draw. Ever. They are always tied to typically an adventure hero from the featured faction for that week's boss brawl. So the only way to get special heroes is from events, and usually they're money based. Pumpkin Shade was in a mining event, believe it or not, 6-7 months ago, and if I had Spider Pig coaching me earlier, I would have had the gem saved up to buy him, but I didn't, and so I missed my chance at Pumpkin Shade, which has the single best global in the game and that hero orbs increase. Yeah. But so the one nice thing about special faction heroes is that their shards don't show up until you own them. So you'll never like I have 345 necromancer shards now that are totally wasted. The nice thing about special faction heroes on some level is that like they don't pollute the pool of heroes in for runes. So like all else equal, you kind of want any hero you don't have to be a special faction hero. So there's that. Yeah, LBI is great. I'm gonna go to the water park, I think, tomorrow or something. Should be fun. There's the problem here is there's not great pizza and there's not great bagels, but there's like really good seafood, obviously, and really good produce. Wildwood is fun. I used to go to Wildwood all the time in high school. That and Seaside Heights, like the classic like Jersey Shore TV show, Jersey Shore Town. Everyone on Jersey Shore was from like Long Island. Those weren't really even real New Jersey people. Yeah, Necro will haunt me. Like I was saying earlier, if I get up to 17,000 gems and he shows up in Lucky Draw, I'm just pulling the trigger and I'm just gonna rub it in his face. It'll be okay. Yeah. 1 second, Rue. Sorry, my son wanted to make a second entrance. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get down here. I'll take it being not. I'll take sunny and 70. It's been like 95 and humid in St. Louis for 2 months straight. It's been awful. So I'll take any kind of not that. Where am I pushing? I'm at 20. So we're like 12,000. I think we're 10,000 keys in so far. 10,000 keys in, 10 at a time. So that's 1,000 chests. And me not clicking optimally every time. So the plan too, just for everyone that wasn't here at the beginning, is I did a boss brawl run before heroic gear, and my plan was to do a boss brawl run after heroic gear using ideally the same setup to see the difference in the damage numbers. I thought that'd be a fun way to kind of just test it out right away. But I've been opening keys now for over 2.5 hours, and it's still got a ways to go. So this is taking longer than I thought it would. Myrtle Beach is great. I went there for my wife had a conference there, so I got to hang out at the beach for a couple days while she went to her conference. I have never been to the Outer Banks, but I've been to like Wilmington because when we lived in North Carolina, we'd go there. I had a buddy that lived there, so I've been to Wilmington a handful of times. It's not quite the Outer Banks, but Jersey Shore is the best. I love this place. It's like the East Coast, or at least New Jersey beaches, are like giant sand beaches. They're like super kid friendly. So it's not like Pacific beaches where it's all rocky and small and kind of crap, but with like nice views. It's like much more kid friendly and hanging out and play. Yeah, dude, Necromancer is awesome. I'm jealous. And he's fun. The really cool thing about Necromancer too is that 5-star Forge is awesome. The 4-star Forge, when he gets the worm, like it's fantastic. It's just like a much better designed Spirit Shaman. So like, and it's the kind of thing where like, if someone had just told me at the time to like spend the gems to get the hero, I would have done it. But I missed it. You know, sad times. Yeah, pool at the beach is like great combo. A lot of the places here, so we're like on the bay side of the beach, so you can't really see the ocean from the house, but the houses on the other side of the street can, and they all have like rooftop. I think they have like rooftop pools, rooftop hot tubs. That's like the best combo. It's like being in a pool looking at the ocean. It's a good deal. And this is the kind of place too. Like I think when they bought their house like 30 years ago here, like it was like not a nice place to come to, and it's gentrified. So, and now it's like the place to be in New Jersey in the summer LBI. So. In the event, smoke bombs or fangs, I personally am going fangs. Smoke bomb is really niche. Smoke bomb at 5-star forge is fantastic for hard mode arena, Dragon's Tower, and nightmare mode. But you need to hit 5-star forge, and you need to hit duration tome during your run in order to evolve it. So it's really good under those circumstances, like late game, and you can get duration tome in your run, which makes it like super niche. Crimson Fang is awesome for bleed. So I was saying a little bit earlier that it's going to be core for me, for Bunny, and for any of my other heroes that don't have bleed for boss brawl. So Crimson Fang is great for boss brawl. If you don't have bleed naturally in your kit, it gets you another status effect. So those are kind of the mental model about how to think through them. The status effect multiplier for the global for Fang is a bleed bonus, which is better than the evasion, I think, from Smoke Bomb. So if I was from scratch, I would go Fang. Chris, the new sport character, worst globals in the game, unfortunately. So they're all straight flat magic damage, which is bad, and then health, the global and the forge. So really bad globals. The hero looks great. So from the gameplay I've seen so far, so our shout out to Dog Josh again. He always posts the new hero stats right away on 390 hard mode. Looks like it's not as strong as Dark Mage, but way better than Slime Sage. So I think Dark Mage might be a top 5 hero. So, so that puts the Spore Mancer somewhere in like the probably like above average to very good heroes. So I'm thinking, top 20. There's like 60 heroes now, probably top 25. And it looks like a lot of fun to play. Thematically, it's a lot of fun. There are a lot of mushrooms. So I like that. I like when the heroes are fun. That's my biggest gripe with Warlord, is that he's boring as all anything. I mean, he is the most boring hero in the game. He literally barely moves his axe. Even when he's doing a skill, it's awful. So they made the best hero the most boring. Or one of the best heroes the most boring, which is sad. But the Spore guy, I think, should be good and looks like a lot of fun. How do I have so many silver keys? I've been collecting keys for 7 months. And honestly, my jewels weren't even great until recently. For some reason, in the last month, I hit like all these key jewels. Before that, I only had like 86% key chance, silver key chance. So I've actually over-indexed on gold keys. If you look at like the calculator that predicts how many keys you're going to need, I have way more gold keys than it thought I would, and I have fewer silver keys. So, but yeah, just collect them for 10 months and you're good to go. All right, coming down to the end here. My phone is feeling it. Yeah, Raphael, the theme of this was as soon as I got my mythic gear, I stopped spending keys. I only use keys over the last 6 months if I needed to for like a quest. Otherwise, I didn't open keys. And so saved up 9,700-ish silver keys and 2,700 gold keys. And so I should be able to make the full jump from all mythic to all heroic is the goal. I've actually, knock on wood, never had cockroaches before as a problem. I've been in places with mice, but never cockroaches. So Living Forge, I was saying it earlier, it looks like a lot of fun. And I have him now. I got Disclosure got the adventure pass for being a creator. And he's a lot of fun. So take that. Like I would get the hero because he's fun to play. But Living Forge is, I don't think, going to be great on the damage front. He has the same issue as some of the other, like Slime Sage, basically, Oh man, guys. So there's one heroic, and there's a lot coming in this next roll. That's actually, I think, one of the highest damage heroics there is in the Rogue Helm. So that's nice. Boom. Triplets. Noble. Living Forge has the same problem as Slime Sage, where you have to hit the Forge in order to do damage. And anything with delayed damage in Heroes versus Hordes means that you're going to have a lower cap. So you want to like have the damage proc as often as possible. And you can't control where the Forge spawns, which is something that's missing from both him and a couple other heroes, where like in boss brawl, you want the Forge to be on top of the boss, and it just sometimes isn't. So it limits his potential there. But he's a lot of fun. He's way different than a lot of other heroes. And hitting the anvil feels really rewarding. So I would spend, definitely worth getting as an adventure hero. The globals are also strong. So like way better than Slime Sage. But I don't think he's going to cap out as like one of the better heroes. But super fun to play. Yeah, I still don't know how to optimally play Living Forge, but he's like most of these new heroes that they are good generally, and so as you're having fun playing them, you'll be able to make it work eventually. I think, at least for like clearing hard mode. Like they might not make great end game heroes, but any hero that they release now, you can clear out hard mode, except for maybe Slime Sage. Slime Sage is really bad. I don't have a separate phone. I just usually have it like plugged in somewhere. And I actually haven't had an issue with battery drain before. It's just now like 3 hours in. I'm going. Thanks, Spider Pig. Spider Pig made it to the chat. I've been talking about you, bud. Appreciate your coaching the last 4 or 5 months. So thanks a lot for that. Much better player now than I was because of you. And I was just saying I might actually get the 17,000 gems in order to buy Necromancer, and that'd be largely thanks to you. So appreciate the coaching, dude. Yeah, it is fun to save up these keys. It was like fun to not click the button. I did not think I'd be clicking this button for 3 hours. So just as a rough sense, people that have heroic have been clicking buttons for 3 hours of their lives, just spread out more than at once. Yeah, so a lot of these new heroes have a lot of dependence on their forge. But that's also what made the better heroes of the past really strong. So from having done these like deep hero breakdowns, which I hadn't realized before, it's the interaction between the forge and the skills that's the big thing. So Warlord got that. Warlord gets it from his like level 2 forge and the heal, but he's also just broken because he just does too much damage, like an obscene amount of damage. But people like Artificer and Oracle and even Clockwork Mage, the reason why they're so strong was that some part of their kit interacted with some other part of their kit really well, whereas most heroes don't, at least traditionally, hadn't had that interaction. So Oracle, it's like with effect duration in her orbs, that combination, and the fact that a couple of her skills proc off of like a number of attacks, something like Monk, the reason why he's also very strong, is that then like cooldown and talents can make them stronger, make their skills stronger. And so that happened, I think, probably by accident, or they didn't totally know what they were doing, but now it's very much intentional, starting with essentially Trapper and every hero since, maybe even Plague Keeper. You'll see that their forge is just an amp to their skills, and there's some interaction there. It makes for a much more interesting champion, a much more interesting hero, and it makes for a much more interesting forge path where you can decide what's going to be the best for you as you go. And so I think the hero design has gotten much better and it's gotten much more intentional. So that is to say, heroes like Living Forge are going to definitely be playable, at least through the end of hard mode, and particularly if you forge them up. Yeah, Slime Sage was I don't know what happened with Slime Sage, but that was the kind of thing too. Like I Did I get early access? I may have gotten like a couple of days early access to that. And I would like message Treywood and I was like, dude, all of this stuff is damage over time. The reason why Void Raven is so bad is damage over time. Like, are you sure? And I don't think it probably turned out ideally the way he wanted it to. But not talking for him. Slime Sage is fun. And man, reading his forage and reading his or trying to read all of his moves, like his skills and stuff. My God, they named some of that stuff so goofy, like Goopocalypse and King Vicious, and like makes the ooze stay longer. I was having a lot of fun reading it, like trying to say it, and I'm like, it's hard for me to like get the words out appropriately. Usually, the first time I say something wrong, and so like I had so many edits of me like just trying to say like Goopocalypse appropriately. So Slime Sage is a fun character, fun hero. But yeah, unfortunately, like any time delayed damage is not going to be great, especially on its ultimate. Not what you want. Yeah, Gloop-apocalypse. It's Gloop-apocalypse. I can't even say it now. I'm reading the word and I can't say it. Sorry, it's just some of the stuff I just can't get right. All right, final 1,000. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to hit all heroic too. Like anticlimactic. It's going to be like, there's like 3 things that you still need to grind for. But it'll be fine. I guess now I've gotten all those other heroics. They're out of the pool. So I should only be getting what's left. So this should... Yeah, like there's a lot of wizard boots showing up. There's a lot of boots generally showing up in these. Trapper's a lot of fun. Trapper was the first time that I figured out, like, wholeheartedly what they were doing with the skills and the forge combination. So, like, I was super hyped for Trapper. Because I was like, oh, I get it. And this is the first hero that's, like, really doing it. And I still think Trapper's a lot of fun. There's a lot of forge variation. And I think he's a good hero. He's not as good as I thought he was on release. But he's fun, and he's good, and he's got meaningful decisions. All throughout his forge. So yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. 302. That like these are all just like the same set of same things over and over again. Now I'm seeing like boots and gloves. But it's going to be close because I don't know. We'll see. Also, my phone is slowly dying. Yes. So once you get heroic item, that comes out of the pool of potential other gear to get, and so you won't see it anymore. So like 302 is saying like once you get 20 of the heroic items, then you're only going to get the remaining 10, and you'll get to see them obviously much more often. Yeah, I've been merging as I go. How many have I done? A couple thousand more. All right, so I have the knight set. I got some rogue. Oh my God, my phone is not in a happy place. You can see the warlord is like, that's not lag. That's just the warlord not moving. Got a lot of rogue boots coming. Boots were made for walking. After full heroic gear, you just get keys. So there are the other accounts where you just... Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that. So after you get full heroic, you can still open chests? Is that true? I've never been here before. I figured after full heroic, you just couldn't like open chests anymore. We shall find out, hopefully. Oh, you do? Oh. I didn't know that. So you just have like a bunch of gear? It's goofy. All right. Here's 3 or 4 more heroics coming in. Woo! All right. There's part of the rogue set, part of the knight set. All right. And then we got some more coming in. Whee! Oh, that was a big one. 5. Okay. I'll take those. Okay. So you guys just have like, is your inventory just like, I guess it merges up into itself, but never expanding inventory of items. Okay, so I'm just short boots here. This is not looking so hot. Wizard set looks like it needs some help. Ranger set is halfway there. Noble set's almost done. Oh, that's like almost done. Okay, cool. And rogue set is basically done. Okay, so I'll be real close. If I'm not 30-30, it's going to be like very, very close. Sweet. You know what? I never put any thought cycles into it, Spider Pig. Just literally never thought about what happens after you have full heroic. But that's a good point. I'd actually had no idea. But I know the hero pass, right? I think they take away some of the gear options there and they give you dust instead, right? I did hear about that. Oh, I feel like my phone is lighter. It just sped up a bunch. That's weird. Huh, I wonder if opening them fix some of the memory issues. $327 pages of just night boots. Yeah, I'd imagine that's what some of them are on. All right, almost done. Woo woo. Let's see, 341. Okay, these are loading faster, so that's nice. Okay, scrolls and adventure. What do you get? Do you still get scrolls from dungeon too? I hope I have enough gold. So I've been saving as part of this effort to make myself not do anything, click on any buttons. I've also been saving all my coins. So I have 39 billion coins right now. Both so that I could level up all this heroic gear, and also so like in theory I could like go from my current talent level to 1,000 at some point. But that's for a different video. There is a way you can farm gold for a long time that was brought up in our guild chat a little while ago. Like if you can indefinitely stay on a boss level. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it or not. So I have not played No Man's Sky. Is that an open world game? I played I haven't played system games in a really long time. Like I got an Xbox Series, Xbox S maybe, Xbox 360, Xbox One. Turned it on. It needed to load for 2 hours, and then I never played it. And 6 months later, I turned it back on, and it needed to load for 2 more hours, and didn't play it. So I ended up selling it. So I haven't played any real like console game since like 64. I played a little bit of Wii. And then, to be fair, my son got Switch last Christmas, and so I've played Breath of the Wild. No, I played Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Odyssey. Those games are fantastic. They like take all the great aspects of the old ones and like incorporate them into the game and like make it new. Totally recommend Mario Odyssey and Tears of the Kingdom if you have a Switch. All right. Well, those were all of my keys. Yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, I didn't say how you actually get the coins, but know that it is there. Okay, these are all of my silver keys. 3 hours later. Hopefully, they merge up. Okay, I'm pretty sure I hit the rogue and some of the wizard stuff, so that's nice. All right, and I hit noble. I might be short like something in ranger or wizard based on what I'm seeing here in these merge ups. It's gonna be close. Yeah, I think I'm short some wizard gear. No! No! I have to keep grinding. It's not over. 3 hours later. And let's see. I have too much night gear? Should I have merged earlier? I've got an excess of night gear. I have not what am I off here? I'm off just the boots. Okay, so I'm off 1 rare wizard boots. Just a rare wizard boots. And then here I'm off a couple of rare ranger items, but I got way too much of these other ones. Oh no! So I should have merged earlier. That's what I merged too late. Oh, I get it, guys. Coach, yell at me more. All right. Well, that's silly. But let's see. So what is that? And that is short 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and I over-indexed on the other of them. Yeah, that's not bad. Ah, so that's what you were saying. Merge early. I was merging too late. I get it now. I thought they just wouldn't show up until I got the other ones all done. Those poor guys. It's because I didn't merge them up into heroic fast enough. I get it now. All right. Well, if you're merging up into heroic, you should do more merges faster as you go. All right, dudes. So thank you so much to everybody who showed up throughout the event. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the executive producers, Cake Invictus, Riverwind, The Wubba, Krabs, Charlos, Jason, Lady, Ika. God damn it. And Paradox. Let me get this name right. Lady Ikaika, thank you so much for your support. And thanks for dealing with my inability to say your name for months. Appreciate all you guys' support. This was a lot of fun. I didn't expect this to go 3 hours, and the other guy just stuck around for a whole chunk of it. So appreciate it. Hit me up on Discord. Happy to chat. Super fun. Do I really get... What was the last question here? Do you really get Assassin? Assassin's awesome, dude. Assassin's 3-star Forge is one of the best globals in the game. Assassin, the hero, is a lot of fun to play. So Assassin is top 20 hero. Like a lot of fun, just a really good hero. So go for Assassin over Fang, 100%. And just generally get heroes over oh shit, I gotta do boss brawl. All right. I got all like hyped up on myself. I gotta do boss brawl real quick. So I'm just missing the boots. Oh, and I gotta level these up. It's not over, guys. The encore is here. I have enough scrolls. So that's good. All right, encore. Encore into boss brawl. And I had that really goofy build before, right? So we're trying to beat 468. See what happens. All right. I gotta remember how to play the game. So we didn't get burned until too late last time. I'm still gonna go duplicator into war axe. I'm going to take crossbow just so I get burned and not have to worry about it. That's not like strictly optimal there, but I almost didn't get it last time and that would have been sad. All right, and we got poison. So, and now let me not mess this up. So I don't need critical tome. Let's go XP. Early in a run, XP is real strong. If anybody's still here, you don't have to be. I could just be talking to myself and be perfectly happy at this point. XP is real strong beginning of a run. And then because it lets you take advantage of all the XP that you're going to get. I have maxed out crit, so no crit. Cooldown is nice. And then duplicator tome is what I'm looking for. And armor tome. That'll be the little trick. And I shouldn't be clicking on poison darts, but I'm tired. I'm not doing this right. Let's see. Man, slowing down. The lack of slow on the boss is so noticeable on these fat, slow heroes. Look at Warlord is so boring. Are we watching this? Look at this guy. He's just like swinging an axe. You compare that to like if you go look at the try mode of the Sporemancer. It's just like, okay, that's fun. All right. So the one little trick here with Armor Tome. This is like a Kolz top secret trick. Is it lets you like do this and stand on the boss a little bit more. And so the key to doing damage with Warlord and the boss is hitting all parts of quad strike to hit the boss. So any additional damage you can garner from standing on them is going to be big later in the run. So like, right, the longer I can stand here with quad strike, the better. Right, like right now I'm not taking any damage, which is weird, but. Let's see. I want boar. I don't know why I put so many points into poison darts. That's just me being tired from talking for 3 hours straight. So like right now, the longer I can do this, the more damage I'll do. In theory, like it's marginal, but like it should add up. The one issue. So another like little thing with boss brawl, right, is if you have less HP, you do more damage. So you want to try and stay at like a half health. You'll do more damage throughout the whole run. And with Armor Tome, I'm gonna need to like make myself kind of take damage here because I may have way too much armor. This may have been a mistake. Right, like this isn't what's supposed to be. Okay, I'm starting to take some damage. All right, so I'm going to start prepping for like the 20-second death now. All right, I got some damage there. That was nice. So this is obviously like way more ballsy, right? Like I might not even die on time here. We shall see. Yeah. All right. That was a little premature. But that'll play. All right. This better be a new high score. That'll play. And now I can like just hang out on him, right? Hey, I didn't mess up. Whee. But yeah, so right, that's obviously much more ballsy to like plant yourself on top of the boss and not take damage. So yeah, there we go. All right, that was my first heroic run. New high score, guys. Not a trillion, but that woulda netted out. That with the multiplier is over a trillion. That's 1.05 trillion. So best run ever. Woo woo. What did I say? Marginal? That's a Kolz real life word that I say all the time. So I don't know. Was I recording that? Probably wasn't. It was recording here. So I was recording it. My phone is gonna die. It was worth it though. Bury it in pride. All right. Well, that's it. So thank you everybody for standing around. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. It's been so much fun. I'll happy to do these again sometime, whenever I have another event. And remember, always do your adventures. Woo. Hopefully my wife doesn't yell at me too much. All right.